is no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left.
From your grave.
That's when the cannibalism started.
What was that?
But the thing is that the Scream soundtrack the original Scream soundtrack had fucking Nick Cave on it. It was great.
I remember those, man. Soundtracks used to be different.
Yeah. We did a whole No Dogs episode on it.
You know what you really should do? For me, one day, you should do something about the Crow soundtrack.
That was in it. That was part of it.
The Crow
that was a part of the
soundtrack
whole
was
thing.
it's still one of my favorite albums of all time.
Me too. It's not an album. It's a compilation, but you know.
Fucking idiot.
I'm
fucking moron.
I hope Scientology crushes you. I hope they crush you. I hope they tear apart your personal life. I hope they tear apart your business life.
No.
It's fine. They could. It's still just not going to make the Crow soundtrack an album.
I'm interpolated. Do I have my pamphlet music? Do we have my pamphlet music? Because I'm already interpolated.
Yeah, I understand, buddy.
I crossed my mind. It blew my mind the other night.
What?
Right? I was thinking.
Sitting
As
there
always.
thinking.
Thinking.
Executive time.
Yeah, executive time. And I realized, what if fucking a fish, getting hard enough to have sex with a fish, that's OT9.
Wow. Wouldn't that be something? Great day to be a fish.
I don't know. You have to get your whole abdomen torn open by a minuscule, fantastic actor.
Well, there you
Because
go.
it's very difficult. And then you're fucking at spine. You got your spine at the bottom of your,
Right.
it's all a whole, it's a whole rigmarole.
Yeah,
When you put it like that.
Yeah, the tiny little ribs, the fish ribs.
Yeah.
It's not going to feel good. They're not going to tickle. They're going to cut.
It wouldn't feel good for anybody, I don't think.
No, well, again, that's why you must be clear.
Absolutely.
You got to do it. You got to be in ethics if you want to have sex with a fish.
Welcome to the last podcast on the left, everyone. Ben hanging out with Henry and Marcus. None of us have had sex with a fish. We're not good Scientologists.
Yeah, unfortunately, just bad at it.
All right, everyone, it's time for part 3 of our tale of David Miscavige.
Ooh.
Now, we've made a lot of hay out of David Miscavige's tiny, hard body over the last couple of weeks.
He looks like if a Chucky doll was in a tanning bed.
We have, and there is controversy with these episodes. The main controversy, people have been sneaking into my DMs, is Henry's impression of David Miscavige attacking. Is it a flying crossbody or is it a clothesline?
I
believe we had two different varying words when we discussed it.
It's a flying crossbody.
Okay.
Because it's full torso attack. It's because he wants to make sure that he hits you with his belly button.
Got you.
But not in a sexual way because he has no sexual feelings.
Perfect. Clears it all up.
Yeah, no crossbody. It's not a Goldberg. It's more like, it's not like a big shoulder tackle.
Nope.
It is crossbody.
It's crossbody.
It's a crossbody.
It is attacking someone literally with your pubic bone.
Perfect.
Well, perhaps all this attention on David Miscavige's tiny hard body is what's partly drawn the attention of a Scientology Twitter front called Hate Monitor, which, in a series of tweets over the last couple of weeks, have managed to make the three of us look both evil and super fucking radical.
It's the coolest we've ever looked.
They're using the images of when we did Red Rocks, when we actually looked like people would have sex with us.
Yeah, it was incredible.
So cool.
And now we're getting calls.
Now we're getting phone calls.
We're getting a lot of phone calls to the
getting
Church of Scientology.
Actual phone calls. We know for a fact that they are from the Church of Scientology. The actual caller ID is the Church of Scientology.
Oh, it's funny. They just put it on the ID.
Yeah.
I guess they have to for legal reasons.
Yes.
We'll talk more and more because they are a church still technically according to the eyes of the most sacred body in the United States of America, the IRS.
Absolutely.
And also so they're coming at us pretty hard. But I find it interesting because we talked massive shit about Mormonism for like 10 hours, like 15 hours, 13 hours, right? We never got a single call.
Nothing.
For Mormonism. You know why? For Mormons, you know why? It's because they're confident.
Yeah.
Confident.
And you know what I think? You know what? I might blame a little bit on Scientology and why Mormonism are chill. It's the lack of caffeine.
Could be.
They're not all up in it. But also the Mormons, I think, are confident in what they give to their parishioners.
Yeah.
That the arrangement of you believing in our weirdo beliefs is that we're trying to create this quote unquote loving environment
Could be.
for you. And they put a lot of effort into that loving environment front, which we're seeing that Scientology doesn't really do. And it leaves a bitter taste.
It does.
In the mouths of their parishioners.
Absolutely. You got to show a little love.
Just a tiny little bit.
A little bit. That's honestly, hug a Scientologist today. Seriously, bro, you be nice to one because we're trying to get them out of there.
Yeah. But the thing about David Miscavige's hard little body is that it takes a lot of work to stay little and hard.
Oh, yeah. It is. Look at me.
Does it?
I'm little and soft.
Okay.
And it takes next to no work.
That's true.
But his physical form is only the base level of what makes David Miscavige tick.
Oh, yeah.
See, running America's second most successful cult into the ground through a long pattern of assault, kidnapping, human trafficking, and possibly murder, that requires a lot of what you called executive time.
Executive time. It's not nothing. It's idea formation.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
You're sitting and hanging out. Because you remember, this is David Miscavige at the height of his powers.
Yeah.
After last episode, we see he is fully consolidated, all the leadership under him, and now we're watching him take the Church of Scientology out for a ride like it's some kind of like demolition derby car.
And even at the height of his powers, still only 5'3". And that is why when Scientology
He's at the
called
short
me,
of his powers.
There we go. And that's when Scientology called me yesterday. Yes, I did answer. And I actually want to tell both of you SPs that I am now in charge. I am now in charge. 6'7", softer version.
Can I have my pan flutes, please?
Please,
Can I please
because
have...
I am now in charge of Scientology. New rules. Number 1, smile more. That's
Honestly,
number
that's
1.
not bad. Sometimes you have to be happy on the outside first.
Higher carbs.
Mhm.
And number 3, that fish, we're going to deep fry it.
Well, you want to just do you just want to do a fish fry, but honestly, I
I'm
think
bringing the Catholic fish fry to Scientology.
Okay.
doing an international fish fry actually will do a lot more than the Church of Scientology.
Wow, I can see your blood pressure going from 170 over 120 to 169 over 119.
See, 169 is a funny number.
Yeah, it is.
But as we'll see, assault, kidnapping, and human trafficking are all not only essential to Miscavige's executive time, but somewhat the point, because David Miscavige's version of Scientology doesn't really work without assault, kidnapping, and human trafficking.
Because he has to keep you afraid to make you stay in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Because they don't have any benefits.
Yeah.
Right.
But the thing about executive perks is that they can't just be paid for on spec because Scientology owns a lot of real estate. That requires liquid assets if you want to keep everything flowing, if you want to keep the bills paid, you want to keep the lights on. And if your cult doesn't have the membership that it once did, if it ever had much of a membership at all, then where do you get your cash?
Also, if you search Pornhub for liquid assets, it ain't about finances, my friend.
You're talking about squirt.
Yeah.
You're talking about squirt.
Yeah.
David Miscavige, he got it the old-fashioned way. Like, he's selling cookies. Like, how one makes money. Like I know how people make money. The widgets.
I would never trust a man with a six-pack to sell me cookies.
But also remember, like they are getting, when they do get their cash, they have to spend it.
Yeah.
Because as a church, they're not supposed to hold on to it. So we're just going to have to spend all this money.
Yeah.
Well, the answer where they get that money from is gullible, emotionally vulnerable, incredibly rich celebrities.
Who will think of them?
I know.
Well, to put it into perspective, the 10 richest Scientologists are worth, conservatively, this is on the low end, about $9 billion.
Who's a lot?
All right.
Billion with a B. But it also must be said that not all of those richest Scientologists are celebrities.
Well, as we notice, most billionaires, really good billionaires, don't want you to know their names because they're moving around in the background making a bunch of decisions, and they don't want you to know that they can then tank their own company by being an asshole in public.
Oh, are we going to talk about the shadow government?
Yeah, you we'll get there.
But even though Scientology's richest members do indeed have a lot of money, not all of their money goes to Scientology, of course.
Okay.
So how does one shore up the rest of the cost? And how does one spend all that money but make sure that none of that money makes it to the people at the bottom? How does David Miscavige give the illusion of wealth and power while still keeping a stranglehold on all of the people still in? Well, the answer is simple, sir. Slave labor.
That's all you need. All you need is about, at this point, a couple of straggling thousand, like people that you've made so tired and hungry and scared that they'll just do whatever it is you tell them to do.
Look at that. Perfect.
And so today's conclusion will be all about David Miscavige's decadence, the torture he has employed in the past to satisfy his own twisted urges, as well as keep people in the church, And we're also going to cover the celebrities that Miscavige's regime has kept close to the vest for all these years. This, of course, includes a certain celebrity who had David Miscavige serve as the best man at his last failed wedding.
Whoa.
Number 3 by this reporter's
Who's
count.
dishing now?
Wow.
So, who could this celebrity, who's considered by some to be Scientology's top gun, possibly be?
I don't know, Marcus. Who's it gonna be?
Yeah, please do tell.
Well, what we do know about this top gun
I know now.
is that he's come in and out of Scientology a few times over the years. But when he returned for the final time in the early 2000s, his physique inspired David Miscavige to, quote-unquote, get ripped.
David Miscavige.
Oh, man.
I get ripped. That's what I do. I don't even bring a piece of paper around me. He loves the term ripped. He likes to get
He's
ripped.
ripped.
He is. He's solid as a pebble.
Absolutely. And that's why he runs such a risky business.
Interesting.
Pretty good. It's a good pun.
Ooh,
That's a
what
good
is
pun.
that?
You're
I
getting
wonder
into
who
it.
we're talking about.
Oh, we can't see him. Where are they?
I don't know.
Now, Miscavige has always been a muscular little boy, a pebble, as you said. I absolutely fucking love that term.
Yeah.
But when a certain top gun returned with Mission Impossible 2 muscles, Miscavige started talking about getting ripped almost constantly.
Great. I love when guys talk about that constantly.
Oh, yeah. It shows that they're very secure.
And ripped.
And here's where we're going to get into the decadence of David Miscavige. We're going to put a pause on the top gun. You're going to have to wait to see who that top gun is.
So as we are piecing these series together, I also want to make sure that our audience knows that, like, we're pulling as much information from about 6 or 7 different sources.
Many different
There are constant different, like, Scientologist blogs on the internet, former Scientologist blogs. Also, and we're trying to compile the life of David Miscavige. It's actually very difficult to do.
Yeah.
Because he is a very private and intense man. And the people he keeps really close to him, he either betrays or are also so in on it that no one really wants to talk about his inner life. So what we're doing here is really kind of pulling together what it is that we know that he's done. Because, like, we talked about the consolidation of power, but the fact that now that he's completely fucking in charge and he has this, like, bunch of money and he's not working on tech,
Right.
what does he do with all that shit?
Getting ripped.
Well, I mean, the people that we're bringing it from, I mean, Mike Rinder, Mike Rinder,
Rinder.
like spender, not like grinder.
Yep.
Mike
I know you
Rinder.
love your grinder.
Oh, yes. And a hoagie.
It's such a fun word to say.
It is. Grinder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun thing to do, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You doing it?
I've been on the dating apps a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, I was on Big and Tender. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, and then I realized I was just ordering food.
I love Big and Tender.
Yeah. I'm going to find me a dog one of these days.
Well, Mike Rinder, he is the one who actually has given us the most information, or has given the world the most information about David Miscavige's life, or at least until Mike Rinder left Scientology in like the mid to late 2000s.
2007.
Yeah.
What we're basically trying to do is coordinate, like triangulate a bunch of different sources to get whatever we can.
Yeah.
I just recently been reading Mark Headley's Blown for Good, which is I do love the title of it. It's very funny. But Mark Headley was a young dude. He has another perspective. It's more just understanding that when you have so many people all saying the same exact, very similar stories about a man, that is probably the truth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, in order to get ripped, Miscavige escalated his already decadent lifestyle habits that had, by the early to mid 2000s, reached their peak, just as Scientology was also reaching the height of its power and visibility before it began to crumble.
Are we talking Kim.com here, or are we talking Papa John's?
Kim.com.
What's Kim.com?
Oh, you guys know Kim.com?
No,
He was
no.
an internet mogul. He ended up getting arrested, and I believe he's currently incarcerated.
Wow.
Fantastic documentary on him.
Really?
Well, let's just move on.
Are you talking about the power of the Papa? It's like, are we talking
No,
about
do you
Papa at
remember
the
when
height of
Papa
it?
John's gave us a tour of his home?
Oh, yes, sure. Yeah,
Are we
yes.
talking like that?
Far beyond that.
Oh, yeah.
Beyond
yeah.
Papa John.
Oh, he
Far
is
beyond.
actually, I don't. Papa John's, I think, is a fucking billionaire now.
Papa John is
I think his
super rich.
reckoning was way more talking about back end.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it could be. But on the other hand, Papa John also does not have an army of near slaves.
don't know what I have.
That's true.
You don't know what I have. Like, a day of reckoning's coming. I have 1,000 pizza-tears. They're coming to your studio. 1,000 pizza-tears going through your garbage.
David Miscavige, if we're talking food here, he had employed 2 personal chefs for years, but when he wanted to get ripped, he had them enter everything he ate into a huge spreadsheet to ensure that every meal was 40% protein exactly and no more than 400 calories.
And all that
What a
shit's in
nightmare.
exact science. What?
What a nightmare.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. He'd be fed 4 meals a day. And by the way, David Miscavige, despite his ongoing asthma, chain smokes like a mother. You wouldn't believe how much he smokes.
You can tell by his voice, though, he's got that. He's got the, hey, everybody, we're building a gate to the future. Even my current impersonation of him is far friendlier.
Whatever you heard about us, if you haven't heard us from us, you gotta hear it from us.
Hear from me. We're doing really well.
I mean, honestly, smoking makes for a great radio voice.
It does.
Yeah.
Actually, my radio voice got much better after I
what
quit
you-
smoking.
that's
I
what
do.
you
I
say?
believe it. Well, you hear it because it depends on the radio voice.
Yeah, because mine used to be so thick with mucus, and it's not quite so thick with mucus in it all anymore.
Not
Right.
anymore.
Not
Not
anymore.
anymore.
But I love talking about it.
Well, he'd eat 4 meals a day. He'd constantly smoke cigarettes, but dinner was a 5-course meal that was made specifically for his and his wife's blood type. Reportedly, Miscavige's favorites were mushroom risotto, clam linguine, and of course, the cruelest of meals, foie gras.
Yes, it is. It is sad, and I struggle with. Foie gras is delicious, but I think
It must
it's
be so hard for you.
it's the pain in it that is what's delicious. It's the screaming of it. I can see him like having a little piece of foie gras, which is like it's half the size of his head.
Yeah.
Like just because he's all head.
He is.
He's all head, and so, yeah, him like that's a very David Miscavige meal.
Very much so.
Yeah, I could see it.
Seafood would also be trucked in from Santa Monica to Gold Base several times a week, and corn-fed lamb would be flown in from New Zealand.
He must have been terrified attached to those planes.
Yeah, lucky lamb.
David's missing wife, Shelley, would also make these extravagant delivery demands. Of course, this is before Shelley Miscavige went missing. 'Cause
Right.
Shelley was, I would say from what I can tell, I may be wrong here. Correct me if I'm wrong. But
Right.
Shelley Miscavige also sounds like a monster.
Complicated woman. Well, truly, complicated woman.
I know
It's-
she's missing. I
what
know
do-
it's all that, but it does seem like, from what I've read, that she joined in in the
I mean, it
torture
would make sense.
quite a bit.
Someplace underneath makes a really good argument, which is interesting because it's a part of the actual legal argument that David Miscavige is going through right now. Of like, can someone, if you're raised in a religion, if you know nothing but this religion, like from a very, very early age, and it forms your entire personality, what is consent to activities that you have been kind of fully indoctrinated into believing that this is what you're supposed to do? You are, Shelley Miscavige knows, as the number 2 to the number 1 of Scientology and the history of quote unquote number 2s and what happens to them within Scientology, was probably acting in a way to, probably maybe it gets inside of you, but you're also trying to go along to get along. You're trying to not make bumps, and you're trying to be the bride of David Miscavige,
Sure.
who is just as and like you don't think
want
you
to
can't
get flushed down the toilet.
because people did view her as some like she was scary, but then other echelons of her were like the higher ups were like, well, Shelley was again, term complicated comes up a lot because she was born, raised. Now you're in the center of the hurricane.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know how you'd react. I don't know how you'd act. But then now, whatever it is,
I'd go missing for like 16 years.
I mean, that's what she got done to her.
Yeah.
You know, but so I think that, you know, you're stepping on, it's the pain rolling downhill.
Sure. Okay, I see. Well, that's the thing, is that her and David together, their meals would cost anywhere between $3,000 and $20,000 per week.
Jesus
Oh,
fucking
wow.
Christ.
That's a lot.
More would be spent, of course, if a certain Top Gun was in attendance at dinner.
Well, I'm certain they didn't have goose.
No foie gras for him.
No, not at all.
They'd fly in ingredients from all over the world when Top Gun showed up because they wanted to make it extravagant. They wanted to make him feel special. They have to show their biggest guy, hey, look at what we can accomplish. Look at what we can pull off.
Seafood. Holy hell.
Yeah, seafood. Wow, near the ocean. Holy
Wow.
shit.
Honestly, no. If it's going out to Gold Base, it's the middle of the fucking desert. It's taking
Yeah.
a 3-hour trip from Santa Monica. So it's like they are flying it in. They are doing the thing.
They're shipping it in. But
It's
3 hours
extremely,
isn't bad.
it's very extravagant.
Sand trout. Can you imagine if there was fish in the desert?
That's cows.
But once Miscavige was done with his fourth meal of the day, he'd retire to his private screening room where he'd watch his favorite movies. He loved Scarface, of course, because he's an asshole, and he loved The Godfather.
We all do.
Everyone loves The Godfather.
Sure.
He was also known to sip on surprisingly moderately priced scotch. He liked MacLeod, which is, it's
good.
It's good,
Well,
but
because it's good.
it's moderately priced, though.
Yeah, to me, honestly, then you're fighting. I think, how much are we paying for the scotch?
Yeah, how much do you have to pay for
all
it?
The scotch at some level tastes kind of the same. Now I'm
Right.
drunk and I'm scotch drunk, which means I'm like making like world decisions in my head.
Yeah.
I'm like looking out and being like, one day all this land will be mine.
Scotch is an ambitious drunk.
It is. It is. Well, it's a cruel. You get inside, gets inside of you. You become president for a night alone in a room.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, MacLeod, it's still top shelf.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's
I would
good
just,
stuff.
considering his extravagant habits, I would expect him to drink something much more
Like a
expensive.
Glenlivet.
That's the same.
Yep,
Well,
same
it's
stuff.
Johnny Walker Blue every night, perhaps.
Okay. I'm not a blue guy.
Yeah.
It's very expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to shoot it one time in
You don't-
celebration and almost threw up.
Yeah, that's not what you're supposed to do.
No,
Yeah,
you're
you know.
supposed to sip it.
Yeah.
Real smoky.
Yeah, it's real smoky.
Oh.
Well, that's the reason why I kind of bring it up is that his stereo system is incredible. He'd sit there and listen on a $150,000 stereo system, just listening to Michael Jackson all
You're
day,
innocent,
all
Michael. You're innocent, Michael. Every time he's just listening again, just loving it. Just
Yeah.
like Dan moonwalking alone in his sad, like empty giant mansion.
night.
So he listened while drunk on MacLeod to Man in the Mirror while watching Scarface unironically.
Yeah. All this unironically.
Wow.
Yeah.
It informs you.
Sad.
Now, as far as Miscavige's dapper look goes, his clothes were all tailored by the same guy who does Will Smith's and a certain Top Gun's wardrobe.
Oh.
And those clothes were kept for David's perusal in a room that was only for David's tiny suits. You can fit a lot more. You can fit a lot of suits in that room.
This is one of
More
those things.
suits.
I'm
Yeah.
starting to get jealous because I love my own tiny suit room.
Yeah.
Because that's fun to do. You go and you're like, these are my suits. Like, just so excited. Be like, and there's one suit. There's my blue one. There's my gray one. There's my brown one. Like, and it's like, I just try them on all the time. With you.
Isn't he always in the same color suit? It's
Basically.
like a dark blue suit.
Yeah,
That's all he wears.
there's different shades. I saw like one was like I saw one that was more like a skyscraper cobalt, and I saw
Okay.
another one that was like a goose gander gray.
Okay,
I see
okay.
like there's a lot in there. It's like there's variations.
Multiple suits.
He also had 2 full-time stewards who did his laundry and cleaning constantly, to the point where even the light bulbs were polished once a month.
You're
This
going
is
to want
the-
clean light bulbs.
Mark Headley talks about a story. It's just all of this, like it's inanity to prove of it's like it's inanity for its own inanity, right? Like
What's
you
this
are
inanity word?
inanity.
Inanity.
Well, it's the idea of like kind of it's busy work that a
Yeah.
bunch of people are just doing all the time because
Right.
It's pointless shit that kind of drives you a little crazy.
the whole
Right.
point is, and it's demeaning. It's deeply like Mark Headley talks about how like when he first met David Miscavige, it happened on accident. He was a kid. David Miscavige made a surprise visit to their org, like him and his 2 dudes, and he accidentally ran into him outside. He saw David Miscavige. He was like, and the first thing he said, he was like this minuscule yelling man with 2 men flanking him. And he
Right.
was talking to somebody, be like, I'll see you at Gold Base. Like he did something weird shit. And then he said hello to David Miscavige, who like regarded him. He walked up to his new auditing coach that was like, oh, like he said, and he's just like, yeah, actually, I think the COB's here, like however they called him at the time.
COB, chairman of the board.
Yeah, they call him COB.
Oh, okay.
And I think
Carrot Top.
they pulled him into yes,
Yes.
BORED. That's from Norm Macdonald.
R.I.P.
And so they pulled him into another room, and they're like, "How'd you meet Mr. When did you see Mr. Miscavige?" And he's like, "Oh, I just bumped into him outside." You're like, "You need to fucking tell us when you run into him. We need to go into full panic mode now." They clean the entire org, waiting for him outside. He comes in. They're all scurrying around. He comes in. He does the white glove. He has a white glove on.
Oh, my
And
God.
he's checking shit. And he's just like, this place is filthy because they found dust behind a trash can and they made him redo the whole thing. They had to stay there all night.
Was he a part of the fucking restaurant?
And this is young. This is when he's young. But the idea is it's that weird thing of like, it's about absolute control.
Yeah.
He really should have just been an inspector for restaurants.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah,
have been a perfect job for him.
Unfortunately, he doesn't take bribes. So it'd be very difficult for him in that business.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of C's around New York City. But when it came time to leave,
Yeah.
yeah,
Couple of D's too. Couple of double D's. I haven't jerked off in a month.
You should.
I know.
You really need to. I can
know.
smell cum, but not like stained cum. I smell fresh cum,
in
just
there.
like coming out of you. Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah, it's like when someone's carrying around like a bucket of fresh milk. I can smell it's unpasteurized, it's
Well, that's the thing.
wafting.
I smell your children.
Every time you think about it, then Jerry jumps on the bed. And I'm like, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I've been dealing with that recently. Natalie's been out of town. We're in a deep sidebar here, but it was like
Yeah.
I was in the middle of like thinking like when he was like trying to like cuddle that, I was like, just leave me there. You're a father. I had to go upstairs.
It's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Brings you out of it.
Yeah, it really does.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, when it came...
Sorry, Georgie. Georgie's in the room. I'm sorry. You should.
You know, she's fine. That's why I'm not mentioning it, because my little girl's right here.
And she's just like,
Yeah.
Things I've seen. The things I've seen him do.
Oh, she's got her sweet ears on right now.
Rise from your grave.
Stamps.com has postage rates you literally can't find anywhere else, like up to 84% off USPS and UPS. It used to cost 5 barrels of wine to send one single mayor from one county to another. Can you even believe this? For 25 years, Stamps.com has been indispensable for over 1 million businesses. And if you sell products online, I know I do, because my words are products. Stamps.com seamlessly connects with every major marketplace and shopping cart. Use Stamps.com to print postage wherever you do business. All you need is a computer and a printer, and they even send you a free scale. But they don't send you a mailman, because now you're the mailman. And guess what? I can be as drunk as I want when I deliver the mail. Set your business up for success when you started with Stamps.com today. Sign up with promo code LEFT for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, plus free postage and a free digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click the microphone at the top of the page, and enter code LEFT.
Well, when it came time to leave Gold Base, David would hop on his private jet, which cost $30,000 per trip.
Whoa.
In tow was a personal chiropractor to align his little back, and a personal hairdresser who kept his hard-as-nails coif high and square at all times.
Good.
He's got some kind of, he must have some kind of hair implants too. It's real thick. You got a real strong front.
Yeah.
Right.
Additionally, Miscavige would also bring photography equipment and a staff to take photos everywhere he went. And then he'd take those photos, bring them back to Gold Base, and show them off to all of the executives and the Sea Org members who were, for all intents and purposes, captives at Gold Base.
How exciting. So he just showed other people pictures of
His
himself
headshots,
on a
yep.
plane.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Really cool.
Mm-hmm. Now, speaking of Sea Org, even though it was once a position of honor in Scientology, they now seem to be, and have been for many decades, little more than slaves.
Because they were supposed to be the priest class.
Yeah.
Right. And then what they did was, in a weird way, it feels like a truly abusive relationship where it's like, oh, you love me so much, I'm going to fucking stick your head in the ground. I'm going to just fucking mash your head. I'm going to destroy you.
Right.
Because you love me so much.
Mm-hmm. They are the entry point, Sea Org, in which Scientology becomes a serious cult of belief and subjugation. That's when it goes beyond a money-making scheme designed to build clueless and desperate actors.
That's just American.
Yeah, that's just called Hollywood.
Yeah.
Now, at Gold Base, where Sea Org members are arguably treated the worst, they're made to eat in a meat and potatoes mess hall with a meager salad bar, unless you're being punished, of course. If you're being punished, rice and boiled beans.
Yeah,
They just got a pot.
So remember, that's what they ate. That's what, after eating foie gras, a night of eating $20,000 worth of foie gras.
Yeah.
This is what they eat.
Next door, the people who are doing the actual work are eating rice and boiled beans.
What are we talking when we say salad bar here? Are we talking Wendy's salad bar that got
buddy.
some chips and some nacho cheese?
No, there are barely any fixins.
Yeah, I'm thinking like
I love a good salad
think
bar.
shitty Pizza Hut salad bar 1993.
Unless
Oh, but
they're
that's
doing
good.
things different because so much information has leaked. Because Rinder just talks about like part of being on Sea Org is being hungry.
Yeah.
And the pride of being hungry.
Yes.
Because what that meant was that you're working too hard and you don't like you're really digging in.
It's the grind. You know, it's the same thing of people now that will, you know, just regular ass people will be like, "I fucking work 10 hours today, bro. Like I'm grinding, I'm making it happen, I'm doing it."
It's that very sick, like
that's-
that type of addicted to it mentality.
That seems similar to Shinrikyo. The way
Oh,
they
true.
kept them very, very,
I mean, they all do.
very
That cult
hungry.
does.
Oh yeah, hungry is that is a key word for all cults. All cults are always hungry. You never see a chubby name a chubby cult.
Blubbers.
Wow.
There's the Blubber Boys. And then there's
the Blubber Boys.
Oh,
I
the
mean,
Gertrude
I will
gang.
say, anybody who's in charge of Big Dairy, right? They got to be big uns, right?
And that's a cult.
That's, yeah, oh, sure. Look at me. I'm stuck.
Absolutely.
I need to reach out. My cholesterol big too.
It's
I
too
need to
big.
reach out.
Your cholesterol is too
I
big.
need to get a fucking deprogrammer for cheese.
Well, the cost of each Sea Org meal, each person, they spend about 75 cents per person per meal on gold base when it came to Sea Org members. That's about half of what the state of California spends on prisoners per meal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, prisoners get about $3, $3.50.
Well, it's a great day to be a prisoner in California. This is awesome.
Well, on average, Sea Org members are, quote unquote, paid $50 a week. And that's only if they don't incur any fines for various withholds, overts, or general goofery.
Yeah, definitely not General Goofery. You get bumped for that.
Oh, absolutely. And you don't want to meet Sergeant Fuckface.
You really don't.
because
your throat, your soft palate's going to be a mess.
Oh, yeah. General Goofery, come here.
If you get that sort of punishment, you can get bumped down to as low as $13 a week. And that's if you're not actively racking up debt to Scientology.
Well, the thing is,
Jesus.
you are racking up debt to Scientology no matter what, because if you want to bail on your $1 billion contract, one of the things they do, part of the ways they keep you in, is that then they send you a bill for all of the free auditing that you got. And they say, oh, you signed up for this in these various contracts that we made you do while you were half asleep. We kind of semi-forced you to do. Some of you are into this maybe at the beginning, but we kind of made you do this and you agreed to this. So they are charting it because they're giving you, this is where they get their tax exempt status to this day and why they do it. It's because they house and feed these people, but due to the lack of regulation on looking at like how a church spends its money, they can do it as the tiniest amount, at the very little, and then just say, oh, it's because they choose to live a monastic existence instead of saying we're trying to create a free workforce.
Yes.
$1 billion contract.
But all of this is seen by Sea Org members as a reasonable reality. They have no access to computers, their personal calls are monitored, all of their letters are inspected, their bank records are monitored, and any semblance of pop culture is absent from their lives.
See, that is what's aggravating. They're a science cult. I know it's not real science, but you would think tech would be everywhere.
Well,
it should be. It's called Sea Org.
In the ideal orgs, that's what he does. That's a part of his money-making scam, is that he makes these, he blows out these old historical buildings with the highest of ends of tech and fixtures, beautiful marble floors, like everything at the top of the line. And then they pump volunteer. They get people to then like go and raise money on this new absolutely top of the line property that they just did, which works for about a year. And then the whole thing falls off once they let it go. And then it's just this very fancy building that is just empty.
It's so weird.
I mean, the only tech they really use is the e-meter. That's the only technology that they use.
Like, yeah, machine.
Yeah, because
It's
remember,
a questionable tech.
but to the point of pop culture being absent from their lives completely. When South Park did its groundbreaking Scientology episode, Trapped in the Closet, that probably did more damage to Scientology than anything before or since. It really cannot be overstated how devastating that episode was.
Well, because David Miscavige is now living in a world where all of your deepest secrets, all of your hidden material that allowed, like, because that really was, I think, the power they had over people was just like, when you come into this very sacred environment, if you come into this place, right, what you will see, what you will get, no one ever gets.
David, it sounds like you have mesothelioma.
Mesothelioma?
Yeah, I think you have early onset
I can't get that because that means I brought that in.
Okay.
All right, and I'm clear. But he's like, he brings people, and you want to be like entranced by the secret teachings.
Yeah.
But now they're all out in the open.
Everything's out in the open.
So now David Miscavige is kind of like that power is gone, which is why then the punishment comes in.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing is that like that was the point that you brought up when we were on the phone a couple of days ago talking about this is that like all of a sudden Scientology, you have any 13-year-old in America that can say Scientology's fucking stupid.
Yeah, and it's South Park educated a group of 13-year-olds.
Yeah,
that Scientology was a cult and it worked.
Yeah, I mean the overall plot to the show. I mean, it's very much of its time. You know, it's R. Kelly, it's Tom Cruise, it's John Travolta, and all that. But the masterstroke of this episode was laying out the entire Xenu mythology, the basis of Scientological belief, into a 1.5-minute long animated sequence with the words, this is what Scientologists actually believe overlaid on top. They destroyed the church in a minute and a half.
And cut to Mike Rinder doing his PR thing after when the Xeno thing first dropped and him being like, that's patently ridiculous. Like the way he attacks it in that way, it also shows they stick into a point of view and they just hold that fringe point of view as hard as possible to keep him inside.
Do you guys talk on the phone when you're in bed? You're just like, oh, Henry.
I'm curling the phone cord.
I don't know if No, I don't even think Ghostface would even want to kill me. I don't think Ghostface would kill me. What is your favorite scary movie if he asked you?
I'm never gonna scream again because I screamed at you today.
I love Demi Lovato.
But even though David Miscavige was incredibly incensed about the South Park takedown, especially when the episode ended with Stan saying, I'm not scared of you, sue me, the people in Sea Org would not have understood it even if they had seen it. Depending on if they were born into Scientology, they would have no concept what South Park was. They wouldn't know why any of it was funny. They wouldn't know why people even watched it.
You're just talking about like you're my parents.
Yeah, that's true.
At the time. What is this shit?
Well, I mean, none of the references like R. Kelly's trapped in the closet. You remember that?
Oh,
Got the gun. Yeah. Or the rumors about Travolta and Cruz's sexuality. None of that would have made any sense.
Or it's more like it's not allowed to make sense.
Yeah. I mean, all they would do if they watched it, they would find it confusing and terrifying. Right. They would see it as an obvious offensive against Scientology from the outside world. Hell, they might even look at it.
It is.
Yeah,
it's deeply suppressive.
Yeah. I mean, they might even looked at Xenu laughing and been scared by that because Xenu is a terrifying character. That's what Xenu looks like.
You're like, oh shit. But then also like there probably is a little bit of that sacred thing of like, I've been told that this is sacred information, that this is deeply, deeply secret, that people would go insane if they heard this information. And they do go insane. Getting mad at Scientology. They go like, what? But it's like, that's what holds you in but keeps other people out.
But to the point of David Miscavige's anger, one of the key differences between L. Ron Hubbard's Scientology and David Miscavige's Scientology is that under LRH, Scientology was all about the tech when it came to the ego stroke. LRH got off on people loving and praising his ideas and methods, and he was so in love with psychological manipulation that he set off multiple time bombs within Scientology, like the 21-year return, that were designed to fuck with people decades after his death.
He really fucked everybody over by creating no designated line, right? He knew it.
He knew it.
Well, technically, a lot of people fight about like what he wanted because like there's the story that he wanted it to be run by a council, that he felt that no one person could ever bear the actual responsibility. Of guiding Scientology into the future, unlike LRH, because shoulders so narrow, you'd think they were broad. You know what I mean? Like he just was. He's perfect.
If Miscavige is a pebble, Hubbard, that's a mango.
He's a mango. Wow, he is a mango.
That's great.
I'm a mango. I consider myself an avocado.
You probably want to eat more mangoes with your blood pressure. Probably be good for you.
Where are my pamphlets? Honestly, because last time I gotta get these cooked up.
That's great.
You feeling good now?
I feel much better.
I'm honestly deeply agitated.
Yep. You wanted a council, huh?
A council. He wanted a big council.
Yes. Well, no way 9 people could be wrong.
Yeah, no way.
I feel blessed. Thank you, Fernando.
Fantastic. And you're an avocado.
Oh,
you're a mango.
Oh, thank God. Hey.
That's the thing. Hubbard loved the manipulation. He loved the tech. He loved people telling him how smart he was for coming up with all of this shit. Miscavige, however, he's more of a sociopathic corporate CEO. He's very, very shallow. He thrives on fear, submission, and the blind accumulation of wealth. To that end, he completely restructured Scientology to specifically feed those needs.
He is literally the only, him and TC, well, our blind item.
A certain Top Gun.
Are the only people currently really benefiting from Scientology. I mean, who knows with the parishioners? Like, who knows, like the people that are truly just on the outside that are just casually giving money to Scientology? I don't know what their lives are like because we talk about how like the up to class 5, Like some of the stuff is just kind of relaxation techniques and straight up acting exercises.
Mhm.
Most of the stuff is kind of like innocuous. You can kind of see how it might help you with communication
Sure.
or like with whatever, like that kind of garbage. It's not until you join the Sea Org that the crimes really start. This is one of those stories where we talked about, I think last time, about how the crimes of the cult really fall on its most beloved members versus the other ones where it's the fringe gets fucked and the center is what benefits. This one, it's only one person benefits, and it's David Miscavige.
It's like how we are with our friend groups. The closer friends we are, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
Well, in this, though, I can see how some Scientology defectors can still believe in Scientology while also speaking out against the church itself.
Yeah.
Sure.
Basically, they're like Catholics who left the church because of the molesting, but still pray to God when they're in a jam.
Sure.
And they still use guilt to simultaneously keep themselves from doing horrible things and to keep themselves from enjoying life to the fullest.
Because that's the key. You want to hover between those 2 points. That's called Christianity.
And, I mean, you can take some of the positive tenets of anything and apply it to a secular life.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
It's like, and then community. The concept of community.
Of course.
Yeah. But in Scientology, of course, that's how you become a squirrel. That's what a squirrel is. That's somebody
Who's stealing tech.
Yes, someone who has taken the ideas of Scientology and is practicing them outside of the church. And that, of course, can bring the ire of the squirrel busters.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
I've been trying to
indeed.
audit my blood pressure down, but all I end up doing is masturbating.
Yeah, that'll raise it.
But when it comes to Scientology being mainly about David Miscavige for the last few decades, his birthday is probably the best example.
Because I think that's a new holiday now. Because they have like 5 big holidays. One's LRH birthday, and they have like another. I forget the other one's like the beginning of OT8, and I guess it's one of his. Is that one of the big
Oh,
holidays?
it's definitely a big holiday.
And they're big Arbor Day people.
Love Arbor.
Big Arbor Day people, yeah.
Every year, Scientologists celebrate David Miscavige's birth by giving cash contributions that go towards birthday presents for little Davy.
Wow.
Over-
Great.
Over the years, he's received such expensive gifts as tailored suits, designer leather jackets, nice cameras, diving equipment, Italian shoes, and a handmade titanium bicycle.
Cool.
I would love to see this rich fucking bitch just open up the present. Yeah, we have a suit. Yeah, we have a
Put it in my suit, bro. Nice. Oh, tan suit? You trying to get me sued?
Get out of here.
But those are only the appetizers for the big gifts presented by the various orgs. One year, the Flag Service org in Clearwater all pitched in and bought David a $70,000 motorcycle.
Money well spent.
Nice.
And another division set him up with a BMW.
Cool.
But Miscavige also ends up with more presents because in a classic corporate move, and this is actually very important to David Miscavige holding on to power for as long as he has, he created so many different orgs within orgs that nobody is able to hold enough power to challenge him for the top spot.
It's a great way to do it.
It is so complicated, and you could see why you get obsessed researching Scientology. I'm up to my fucking receding hairline in it. Right?
God save Tony Ortega.
I mean, he really just like the idea of keeping it up to date, but it is very difficult to really parse down what is the day-to-day of current Scientology and what's going on in there because of this like spider web construction that David Miscavige has set up.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
If you see the power chart flow, have you ever seen that power flow?
No.
Of like how it's just, again, the word inanity keeps coming up. It's just red tape. It's made just to make sure you know you'll never get your word all the way up to David Miscavige.
Yeah. But perhaps Miscavige's greatest crime when it comes to sullying the legacy of LRH was when he replaced Hubbard's adorable corgis
Yes.
with the lowly beagle.
Oh, fuck. Now we're going to get blown up. We're going to get
Series
blown
of
up
Beagle
even harder.
Chihuahua. I love beagles. They keep your house free of rodents.
Do you understand that the Beagle Brigade's going to fucking be right behind
I
the
love
goddamn
beagles.
Scientologists in front of our homes?
Yeah, the Beagle Brigade is fine. Well, we'll just have to fucking come back with the Corgi Clan.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea, Marcus.
Oh, yeah,
a
great.
Corgi clan.
Corgi Clan with a C, my friend. With a C.
Thank you for clarifying.
Like the Foot Clan, but for corgis, the Corgi
That's
Clan.
just as bad as what we were thinking earlier.
We here at the Crazy Corgi Clan, we absolutely love a short-legged animal, and anything with anything beyond a 5-inch leg needs to be genocided.
Corgi butts drive me nuts. I don't like the Corgi community. I think that they sexualize their dogs.
Oh my God, guys! I feel like
I'm a Beagle boy.
We're gonna like jump past being sued by the Church of Scientology and just get sued by dogs. We're just going to get sued by the Beagle world, Beagle magazines.
Beagles are fine. They're just, if I'm on a boat, what do I want to see? Do I want to see corgis or do I want to see beagles?
I want to see a woman with big breasts in a bikini.
Fantastic.
I want to look and see a margarita in my hand. And I want to have a fresh brat in the other.
I mean, yes, are corgis a less practical animal to have on a boat because they're so low and you can trip over them and go overboard much easier?
I don't think dogs should be on boats.
I don't think dogs like boats.
No, I think they're terrified on a boat. I know some people are like, my dog loves the boat. It's because you raised them on the boat. Now it loves you.
It's a boat dog. I just want a margarita and a fucking
brat.
Yeah. Wow, what a nice day that would be.
That really would be a nice day.
I'm going to plan it. I'm going to do it Sunday.
All right, let's do it. Well, Miscavige had, amongst a veritable pack of dogs, 5 beagles that all had blue vests, custom made, and each one featured 4 stripes on the shoulder epaulets. They had epaulets, they had everything. It was very cute. I will admit, it's a cute costume.
Yeah.
That meant that the beagles, though, were technically Sea Org captains. And as such, everyone had to treat them as Sea Org captains and salute them when they walked by. This was, of course, yet another tactic David Miscavige used to keep Sea Org members in their place, telling them basically, even the highest ranking among you are at best equal to my fucking dogs.
Seriously. And again, he says, again, the way they flip it is that like a funny, cute thing, like it's a human interest thing. But every single thing that David Miscavige does is deadly serious.
Yeah.
There's not a sense of irony about the man. And if you look at footage that people have of him now, like those fake Scientology videos where you see him like smiling and looking like he hangs out with people inside of the org and shit, being like, absolutely not. That man's very, very dangerous.
You tell me you don't like a fucking beagle, bro?
No, I like a beagle. I'm just saying.
I have don't have a hair in this fight.
I mean, I like a beagle. I'm just saying, I got a corgi, or I got a little corgi mix, and I like corgis better.
Beagles can run up to 20 miles fucking per hour.
Yeah, you fucking put that beagle up against my Georgie. Georgie can run 20 miles an hour, I guarantee you. I've seen this dog run.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
All right.
Well, in addition, Miscavige also had a Dalmatian pit bull mix called Buster, who was known to attack staff members and once sent an elderly woman to the hospital.
Oh.
Now, while Sea Org members were putting up with being compared to dogs and being attacked by dogs, they were also being beaten on the regular by Scientology executives, and the beatings were beginning to get progressively worse starting in the late 90s. That's because shit was rolling downhill following the death of Lisa McPherson. Remember, that's what we talked about at the end of the last episode.
That was their exorcism gone wrong.
Yes.
Basically.
And after that, David Miscavige's punishments involving Scientology executives were getting more violent, more humiliating, and more bizarre in the dusty old bones full of green dust tradition.
It really is true. And the fact that, because now they're, heavily bleeding. Mm-hmm. After the Lisa McPherson thing, that was, really the first time that something from the outside world really came in and touched David Miscavige. Right. And he did not like that, which is why they still so angrily and hungrily go after anybody. Well, and they still are doing it. We're experiencing too. People experience this all the time because of the Lisa McPherson thing and where it's going to now. This is the whole third age of Scientology.
And this is, and it's important to say that these punishments, the worst punishments in Scientology, go towards executives. These are people at the very, very top, the people that are in David Miscavige's immediate orbit.
Again, Shelley Miscavige, all these people, anybody who got close to him was this close. The more you got promoted, the more in danger you were within the organization.
Well, and perhaps the most bizarre and frankly hilarious example, David Miscavige had a set of expensive, lifelike ventriloquist dolls commissioned that looked exactly like his 3 favorite executive whipping boys.
Mm-hmm. He would bring them into these meetings, and then he'd be like, okay, everybody, let's just see what Mike has to say. And he'd pull up the ventriloquist dummy and act it out in front of all of them.
He'd ask it questions, and then he'd answer the questions in voices that impersonated the doll's doppelganger.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yes.
But they were also the impersonations were also fucking weird.
I know,
because it was
exactly.
David Miscavige.
It was that's a part of it I connected, is that he's very he's brutal in this too, where they're not clever.
No,
it's kind of Trumpy in that way, where it's just enough of a gut shot because it's immature too. Yeah. And then you're supposed to be a big bad boss of Scientology too, and he's just ripping you to shreds in the room.
Yeah. But for one executive named Haber, or maybe it's Abear.
It's Abear Jensch. It's the guy that was the original spokesperson for Scientology because he looked like a cute old man. But then David Miscavige decided that he looked too old. And then that's when Rinder got put up.
His name is Aber Bench?
Aber Jensch.
Aber Jensch. I hope he finds them boys out there. I hope he finds them boys. I'm thinking of the boys. Oh, I'm thinking of the boys.
What are you saying?
They got a Confederate flag on their car.
No, he's German. He's Aber Jensch.
I hope he finds them boys from the Dukes of Hazzard. That's what I was thinking of.
Hey, man, whatever gets it out.
Whatever, man. Well, for this guy, David Miscavige would get a little meta. He'd do a howdy doody voice that always answered with childish statements.
I'm a dummy. I'm a big stupid dummy. Like literally.
Yeah, because in Miscavige's view, Abear had the intelligence of a marionette. You're as smart as this dummy. You're a dummy. You look at the dummy.
It's like, why are you friends with me then? If he hates all of his friends.
He has no friends.
Yeah.
Only one specific incredible cocktail artist.
Oh, interesting.
Well, for another executive named Guillaume Lesèvre, Miscavige would do an over-the-top French accent, and almost every sentence that he spoke would mention how much Lesèvre loved cheese.
Man. I'm a cheese-loving motherfucker. I am a stupid cocksucker.
Man,
because then he loved his favorite word was cocksucker.
Right.
But when it came time to impersonate Mike Rinder, Miscavige would speak like a real slow-talking Morris, because
He did him Holden McNeely.
He would literally go like, "Hi, I'm Mike, and I'm always slow to react because I'm out ethics and I pull it in, don't I?"
And the whole time, like, imagine there's like the clattering of the ventriloquist dummy mouth. Like,
right. Wow.
And in fact, Miscavige once described Rinder in front of a large group of high-ranking Scientologists as being the spawn of an R-worded sloth's DNA.
Whoa, hey, no,
Whoa.
These R-worded sloths need to be able to reproduce.
Absolutely.
But you remember, this is how the way we're talking about this is the ramp up.
Yeah.
Right? Because after Lisa McPherson happened, this is when things started getting more and more cray.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's been slapping and beating people and crossbodying people this whole
Doing
time.
it forever, yeah.
But now it's really starting to get fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got the blood on the hands.
Rise from your grave.
On Rinder's further humiliation, Miscavige tapped a gold-based electrician to install 4-foot lengths of copper wire into the ground in front of a conference room. This, he said, would prevent Rinder's body thetans from jumping off and landing on Miscavige. So it's the Scientological equivalent of bullying someone for having cooties.
Well, this is this is why he's punishing the executive staff, right? He's punishing the executive staff because they're not doing right. The reason why Scientology is getting all this heat is because you guys are all fucking up.
Yeah.
It's not because we're a corrupt organization. It's because you guys are all fucking up and you are now it's splashing onto me.
Yeah. When it came to everyone else, though, Miscavige's favorite blanket insult was pie face.
Yeah, because people would fall asleep.
Yeah. Or in some cases, according to Mike Rinder, you motherfucking pie-faced piece of dog shit.
Whoa.
Yeah. Someone was pie-faced in Miscavige's world when they stared at him in silence and terror when he asked a question with no possible right answer, which he did quite often.
Oh, yeah, there's the idea. Because we give you a bunch of questions and then everything would be wrong. Everything would be wrong. Whatever you said was wrong.
Pie-faced was a face with no expression. So to drive his point home, he started bringing white paper plates and magic markers to meetings. And using his kindergarten arts and crafts skills, David would draw approximations of smiley faces on the plates, but he'd use a straight line instead of a grin for the mouth.
It's an emoji.
Yeah, blank expression.
You can't see it, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an emoji. It sounds like at any time he might try to buy Twitter. I'm surprised he hasn't tried to do it yet.
Oh.
Take him down a peg.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
He would then pass these little makeshift masks around and make every executive hold the plates in front of their faces while he spoke, because in his words, he'd rather look at those pie faces instead of their actual pie faces.
Well, now, who wouldn't want to look at a pie face anyway? If someone actually had pie for face?
Yeah, that would be very interesting and also distressing. I feel like I'd cry.
Mm-hmm.
If I saw a man with an actual pie for a head, at first I would be like, I'd be like, oh, cool. But the other part of me like, what else is real?
Uh-huh.
What else is real?
Yeah. It's all going to start falling apart from there.
I think so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, this holding of the pie face would sometimes go on for days at a time during any and all interactions the executives had with David Miscavige. So they had to carry around their fucking paper plates, and anytime they talked to David, boom, put the pie face
You don't
on.
want to put that on there. I would be a tres leche pie.
Oh, cute. But
It's nice.
he would grow bored of his punishments too, though. Because
Yeah.
then he'd go to the next thing, and there'd be another new horrible thing, and it's going to escalate.
So this is all he thought about when he was drinking Macallan, listening to Michael Jackson,
Just filled with rage.
watching Goodfellas.
I guess that's the only consolation we can have is that he doesn't have a happy day.
No.
Like
No,
he's
never.
sitting in a lap of total luxury as a god amongst his people, and he is miserable.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, lesson in that, I guess.
I mean, eventually his rage would subside, and usually executives learn that you could mollify David Miscavige by giving him what they called standing O's during his little speeches that he'd make throughout the day that were about God knows what.
Ideal orgs, how definitely OT9's coming,
Mhm.
all that horseshit, just over and over and over.
Yeah,
again.
how Scientology can change the world, so on and so forth.
How
It's-
we are changing the world using a bunch of propaganda that isn't real, like a bunch of fake concepts, and like we're gonna end. Meanwhile, just buying real estate.
Yeah. One time, when the applause wasn't enough, Miscavige ordered other executives to throw Render, Hébert, and Lefebvre into a near freezing lake.
Well, this is based off a real LRH punishment. One of the ones that he did, but he did it as like it was a punishment and a quote unquote thought exercise where he's like, I want to see if you are like he was dealing with a bunch of people that were not auditing correctly, and he's like, we're going to do a danger test, and he's going to put them all, and they tied them all up and then pushed them over the edge of the boat. This is when he was on the Apollo and pushed him over the edge of the boat, and then they had to go fish him out. But he's like, and what did we learn? To not jump off a boat.
Don't
Right?
jump off a boat. Don't
What
do
did
it.
we learn?
Don't jump off the boat. Lesson learned.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing about all this is that it was unsustainably chaotic. If you're going to run a punishment cult, then you got to have rules. And you definitely need terrifying locations of concentrated punishment. You need sweat boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah, sure.
So in January of 2004, perhaps as a New Year's resolution, Miscavige began codifying Scientology punishments for executives that were very loosely based on a policy letter written by LRH about how to deal with suppressive persons.
So that is interesting. Not all New Year's resolutions have to be good.
Oh no!
This was like, how do I make people more miserable?
I love having a New Year's desecration.
Yeah.
Like that's more what I do. I like bring. How do I bring the world down a peg?
2022, I was too nice to people.
Yeah.
2023, let's be
I'm
meaner.
gonna ump the Grinch.
Yeah.
See, in Hubbard's letter, he listed steps A, B, C, D, and E for dealing with SPs. But Miscavige used these steps to create the A to E room.
That's only half of my first season of my show.
I know.
A to E. E was halfway to M, huh? Where were y'all at E, huh? Where
think
was
it's like-
the
What
show?
was the word?
E is for excellence.
Yes, that's for Murder Fist. so-
Yes, that was for Murder Fist.
Yeah,
E
yes.
is for
Excellent.
energy drinks or something.
Yeah.
It was a bad show. But Ben Feldman's very charming.
Yes.
And so is
Yeah.
Kristen Milioti.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And so are you.
Thank you.
Yeah, really
Thank you for
successful.
Thank you for just some one person saying
Well, the nice thing is about this series, it's only going to help your career in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, this will be great.
Well, the first subjects of the A to E room were, of course, Scientology executives, because they'd all been declared suppressive people who were out to destroy Scientology from the inside because they weren't doing their jobs.
Jesus, it's a lot.
Going through the steps, these executives had to audit, they had to recant their supposed suppressive acts in detail, or they had to make something up.
But they always were making something up.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are they even doing wrong?
Nothing. They're working themselves to death.
Yeah. They had to pay debts to Scientology commensurate to their misdeeds, and they had to redo all Scientology courses from the bottom up, regardless of their OT level.
Oh, you got to do it all over again.
I have a little bit of satisfaction in the fact that at least these guys were also the ones administering punishments to other people.
Mhm.
But
Right.
again, the term we keep saying, shit rolls downhill, is that then they were making everything worse for everybody below them.
Yeah.
Just seems horrible.
But while the A to E room was psychologically grueling, it was nothing compared to the next phase of Scientology punishment. Amidst a slew of mocking comedy routines and bad press from the outside world, David Miscavige created The Hole.
Ooh. Oh, that could be fun. Hey, honey, do you want to go to the newest restaurant called The Hole tonight?
Yeah, I always wanted to go to the house.
Yeah.
To think maybe I can sit in the bucket and they can put cold water on my head.
Yeah, I think they can, dear.
Yeah, just leave me there.
Yeah, all right.
Please leave me there.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Now, bad Scientology press doesn't really matter to insiders when it comes to fucking with their belief, because those already ensconced in Scientology, they're conditioned to think that everyone outside of their bubble are so-called chaos merchants spreading lies.
Yes, dude, yeah. Chaos merchants.
Oh, we're prime examples of chaos merchants.
We're
Again,
CMs.
far too cool of a term.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
sounds like a fucking Iron Maiden
It
song.
makes me want to do it.
And there's nothing cooler than Iron Maiden. For the kids out there, they were a band.
Hey, it is cool.
It is cool, yeah.
They don't get it. Paris Hilton was wearing like an Iron Maiden shirt. That's stolen
She
valor.
does not know one Iron Maiden song.
Oh, don't get into that whole of you don't know three.
You don't know. You name three bands. Name three albums.
Name three songs from the band.
If I wear a band shirt, you should be able to name 3 songs from the band.
It sometimes keeps me from buying a cool shirt.
I do it all the time. I don't do it all the time.
Just buy the shirt. Who gives a
No.
ship?
No, because then you get
Because
your
you're a
no
liar.
card
No,
Because
pulled.
you're a liar.
no gatekeeping, my friend. No gatekeeping.
I'm not gatekeeping. I'm
You
just
can say,
saying.
we can all say no gatekeeping all we want, but there's gates everywhere. And
That
there's
is
somebody
true.
keeping them.
That is true.
Bad press, however, did matter to David Miscavige personally. See, in my reading, Miscavige had turned Scientology into an extension of himself. So any attack against Scientology was a personal attack against David Miscavige.
Wow.
And like a childhood bully who gets beat at home, then takes it out on the kids at school, so too did David Miscavige take a particularly hard 1-2 punch from South Park and Rolling Stone in 2005 and 2006. This was then transferred to those in his immediate circle, who in turn transferred it to everyone around them. Now, around the same time as a particularly negative article in Rolling Stone, and about a year after the South Park episode, David Miscavige sort of lost it when it came to punishments. He was presumably convinced that everything was falling apart, not because Scientology is an impossible scam to run in the modern world, what with the internet and all,
Yep.
but because the people around him must have betrayed him somehow,
Must
either
have.
on purpose or through their incompetence.
He's put himself in his own bubble, too.
Mhm.
You know?
Oh,
Of
yeah.
course.
But on the other hand, Miscavige might have also realized that the days of recruitment were over, so he'd better keep the ones he had using the only tactics he was capable of using: fear, intimidation, and cruelty. Those are his only tool sets.
And this was about the time period where they were selling to their own people, like, make sure you get your kids into.
Yeah.
Like, this was like that because, again, they weren't getting strangers anymore. They were just trying to be like, now that you're having kids, make sure we pull them into the ranch. We pull them all these, like, childhood education centers for Scientologist children.
So it's like a black hole eating itself.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's all that there is. And so you got to keep it, got to get it strong.
You got to get it
within.
strong.
Always. And so Miscavige designated a punishment center on Gold Base in the Commodore's Messenger office, which was labeled with a carved wooden sign that simply said, "The Hole."
It could at least been called, like, Le Hole.
Oh, that would have been nice. Make it French.
Yeah. And,
So
and give it us like a super cool metal sign. Like give it something that has
Yeah.
some edge to it, not a carved wooden sign.
You have fallen into the hole.
Like, that's
Yeah.
sweet. But yeah, it's not a record shop,
No.
Absolutely.
unfortunately.
Put the lotion on the skin or you get the bone again.
Sure. Yeah. No, you
the
don't need
hose,
to.
the hose.
The
You don't
hose.
need,
You get the
you don't need
hose
to know
again.
every reference. You know what I mean?
No.
It's nice.
Now, once you entered the building that became known as the Hole, you would find that 3 out of the 4 doors to the building were obviously locked and barred shut, and the windows were screwed down so that they couldn't open more than 2 inches. There was also no air conditioning. Remember, this place existed in the California desert. But if the heat got too claustrophobic, there would be no escape, because your fellow Scientologists would be posted outside the door at all times on guard duty. And by the way, those would also be lower ranking Scientologists than you. You're an executive. There's a Sea Org teenager out there
Yeah.
pushing you in the face saying, get the fuck back inside.
There's the
Wow.
added angle of that, where there's a lot of, Rinder talks about that. A lot of times your direct supervisor, your auditor, would be a child, would be a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
That would
That's
like
scary,
show up.
dude.
And they're, because 16-year-olds don't understand, they're young. They don't know
Right.
that they're given this power.
Yeah.
And then they can just whack you with it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And also the Hole, you had no idea how long you were going to be there. You're going to the Hole. How long? As long as it takes.
Well, he's already, because honestly, at this point, Rinder and the top executives are used to being bumped down at RPF and bumped back and forth doing stuff. But this was like, so when this whole thing first started happening, they're like, oh, like it'll be anything like that. We'll go in and you go in, do your time, get out. But it seemed like as soon as you got in the hole, it was extremely difficult to get out.
Yeah. But part of the genius of the hole is that from what it seems, Miscavige again made an evil corporate masterstroke by making the hole an executive punishment.
Oh.
It's like you have an executive dining room or an executive bathroom. And this
Cool.
turns the hole, on a subconscious level, into a privilege.
Yeah. You are
Nice.
just high enough to be punished this hard.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And so to inaugurate the hole, Miscavige sentenced 40 executives, male and female both, to an indeterminate amount of time. In the hole, they ate leftovers from the already meager offerings from the main cafeteria, the 75-cent meals. And they
Wow.
would not only get the 75-cent meals, they would get the leftover rice and boiled beans that was already somebody else's punishment.
These are
Ooh.
these are people that at one point, these are the leaders of the church.
Yeah. Showers, like it was back on the Apollo during LRH's Sea Org days, they would last 30 seconds and they would only be allowed every few days. After they were done with the shower, they'd put on one of 2 dark blue shirts that they'd been issued, along with one of 2 pairs of teeny tiny shorts.
Uh-huh. And what's the point of this again?
Again, it gets you out of, you have no personal, you have like, we're taking away anything that is you.
Yeah.
We're taking it all away and we're making you an autonomous, like little like punishment bot in this room.
So like South Park made an episode, then Rolling Stone made an article, and now you're in the hole.
Yes,
Basically.
that's exactly it.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, ostensibly, the whole point of the hole was for the prisoners to come clean and confess to the crimes they were supposed to have committed against the church, LRH, most importantly, David himself.
Oh.
As such, the hole devolved into something very much like Synanon's game. After 6 weeks, these executives have been reduced to sitting around a conference table, accusing everyone of anything they might be guilty of, using whatever weird Scientology speak they might have at their disposal. You're out ethics.
Yes.
Wow, Wendy, we know for a fact you queefed. You queefed around David, didn't you,
And
Wendy?
you brought that queef in.
And you brought that queef in, didn't you?
And of course, when someone could get someone else to admit to something they may or may not have done,
Yep.
really didn't matter if they
No.
did it or not,
Right.
they could show Miscavige that, hey, I'm on your side. I got them to admit to something. And the more that you show Miscavige that you're on his side, the less time you spend in the hole.
or so you think.
Yeah. So you might figure this is what you think might be like
the
you're trying
game,
anything.
because
you're trying to figure out what the game is here.
Yeah.
Because every other
Yeah.
like punishment has had like some kind of like structure where you're supposed to kind of like, because like how LRH used to do rundowns and tech, David Miscavige is kind of using the punishments as his own version of Scientological lessons, where it's all like, but it's more like, how do I figure out what David wants from me for this sequence to end?
I can
But
also
the whole, he saw no end sequence.
I can also see someone being like, David, I'm on your side 100%, got all this stuff, and him just being like, pussy, you're a pussy.
that is
The
what
whole
happened.
point is that you were supposed to stand up for yourself.
And then you're like,
crossbody.
But that is literally, that is right down the pipe. Yeah.
And I know Vince McMahon, he's no David Miscavige, but that's what he would also do. Sometimes give people horrible gimmicks, horrible characters, and really,
You should have told me no.
You should have told me no. And this is why they would say if you audition for WWE, never tell him you have a talent because he'll make you do it. And that Darren Drozoff, he was like, you can puke on command. Now you're puke. And now every time you wrestle, you're going to have to fake puke. So you got to be very careful with these kinds of people.
You have to be
Not that
careful
Vince
who
and he are
you,
the same.
you have to be careful who you pretend to be because we are who we pretend to be.
We all wear
Kurt
different
Vonnegut.
masks. Yeah,
Mother
I know.
Night. Mother Night. Do you remember Mother Night?
Kurt Vonnegut.
Yeah. But I mean, Ben, the way you're talking, I mean, they are actually very similar. They're just both CEOs. That's all this is. This is all CEO, horrible, like, I mean, manipulative 80s tactics.
It's like
these
stand
are
up for yourself as they're just beating you down.
You up.
Stand
Yeah.
up for yourself.
Why are you hitting yourself?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the genesis for all this, though, it was not the game, at least as far as, accusing other people of bullshit went. The genesis was an old L. Ron Hubbard trick from back when Scientology left only financial, emotional, and psychological scars.
Yeah, the OG scars.
Yeah.
Hubbard's scattershot accusation tactic was called the murder routine.
God, he was good at names, man.
I guess.
I just love, I love that kind of shit.
Yeah.
The murder routine.
I just like that. That's the only thing. That's the thing. It's again.
That's what gets you?
It's fun.
I love it. Like it feels like, all right, it's time for the murder routine. Like, oh yeah.
Well,
It's not vaudeville.
You could see the sparkle in his eyes, just like, it's called the murder routine. As he's like selling it, and we're like, he just loved this little ideas.
Yeah.
Like, God, it caused so much damage.
It really did. Well, basically, if you're trying to get someone to confess to something and they're refusing to confess, you accuse them of doing something far worse than what you're trying to get them to confess to.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, it seems to work with certain political spheres really well.
Mm-hmm.
Hubbard's example was that if you wanted to get someone to confess to cheating on their wife, you instead accuse them of murdering their wife.
Got it.
And the idea is that if you called someone a murderer over and over and over again, they'd eventually say, hey, I might be a cheater, but I'm not a murderer. And it's like,
I got you. There's a whole. They try to do it on the offensive in the Murdoch trial. We talked about this today, a couple days of side stories, and they fucking got him. But they try to say, like, he shit his pants in the car. Like, they made this whole thing like how honest it was. You see, he shit his pants. But would we tell you this if he was a murderer? No, he's a sick man. He's sick.
Who amongst us haven't shat our pant?
Yeah.
I only did it the one time, but I was at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't count, although it does.
I was also at work.
Yeah.
I say shit on company time.
Yes, indeed. Okay.
On David Miscavige's Scientology, however, this stream of accusations got very aggressive very quickly. The sessions soon devolved into fistfights and bizarre physical assaults, like what happened with Debbie Cook, the former head of Flag. See, since Debbie Cook was a Flag-based person, she was based in Clearwater, down in Florida, she wasn't familiar with the strange world of Gold Base in California. Like I said, everything is so completely compartmentalized here.
And Flag's nice.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, obviously you're working hard. A lot of time you're probably living in a shitty apartment and doing all that kind of stuff. You are in Clearwater, Florida, so it's not a beautiful beach, but you're not allowed to go. But,
but you're right next to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a pretty town.
Where you got married over there was
It's
very
beautiful.
was very
Beautiful.
nice. Yeah,
Like,
go to O.J. Simpson's favorite bar. It's all right there.
Anytime
Hulk
you want.
Hogan.
Yeah, his
St.
favorite
Petersburg.
bar. Hulk Hogan, who threw hurricane parties outside of his own Clearwater bar because he was like, hey, brother, these hurricanes are pussies, brother. And then he literally like threw, like, it was DJ Skrillex or Skrillex, DJ Skrillex that held rave parties during an active hurricane where people were dying.
Fantastic.
Florida's has got it made.
Have fun with it.
Well, that's the thing. Debbie Cook, she's coming from Clearwater, Florida. She's coming to Gold Base in California. And when she got to the hole, she didn't know the rules of the game. Namely, she didn't know the most important rule, which was always agree with David.
Oh, yeah. And you know what you definitely don't do is you never laugh at David.
No.
That is a thing I've learned sometimes when you meet someone who's truly self-serious. I've had that. There was one job I did where the director, like, I don't want to, like, it was really intense, but they were all like,
Martin Scorsese.
Yes, was very mad. He said something really like crazy, or like I laughed, and someone grabbed me. He's like, don't laugh at him. And it was just like, oh, I thought he was like joking. He's like, he's not joking. And it's like David Miscavige was like that because again, these routines, he'd do these things. If you laugh too, he'd fucking flip out.
Yeah,
but he's doing ventriloquism. It's funny.
He's the only one who's supposed to think it's funny.
But I don't know if he thinks it's funny.
I think he's a very deadly serious man. And if he's laughing, you are not in a good spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll actually get here in a bit to what makes David Miscavige laugh.
Uh-oh.
Well, Miscavige, with Debbie Cook, he tried to get her to say, for whatever reason, that two other Scientology executives, including the Frenchman we talked about earlier, he tried to get her to say that they told her that they were sucking each other's, quote unquote, sucking each other's cocks.
They're sucking each other's cocks.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's not just that, like, oh, you do not, like, it's that they told you that they were sucking each other's cocks.
And you withheld that.
Yeah, and I need you to tell me that they told you that they sucked each other's cocks.
Yeah, real slow, too, when you tell me.
Now, David Miscavige loved homophobic insults more than any other sort of insult.
Yes.
And one might say that he is oddly preoccupied with the said sucking of cocks and the licking of balls and so on and so forth.
He really, like, was obsessed with it.
Yeah.
He might have wanted it.
Yeah, it's like in Trailer Park Boys. You know how Jim Leahy, every single insult has to do with shit? Yeah. It's the same thing with David Miscavige and Dick and Balls.
All right.
Well, one time, for example, Mike Rinder got a text from David Miscavige that just said YSCOHB. It's just an acronym. And Rinder had to sit there and decipher it. And finally, after working on it, like it's a fucking end of Doctor Strangelove.
He thought it was like a secret lesson.
Yeah, after, like, he's sitting there, he's got a piece of paper out, he's trying to figure out what YSCOHB means, and finally he translated it to, you suck cocks on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then David Miscavige would go to use that at the end of every one of his emails to render from then on.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah. It's again. I let it a little chuckle.
Yeah.
No,
but
it's
I
kinda
also
funny.
know that, yeah, but you're also like, guys, wow.
Yeah.
I love a random acronym.
Yeah,
I
do
think,
too.
well, technically, what? Is it an acronym? Then
If
it has
it
to say that it has to say a word. I
Yeah, it does. Yeah, because
those are just letters.
think. It's just initials.
Yeah, you scope. Yeah, it's not an acronym. You're right.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Yep. Take it in, buddy. Victory lap.
I'm fucked.
But when Debbie Cook was faced with this bizarre homophobia in the hole, she didn't know what she was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, "Oh yeah, they talk about sucking each other's cocks all the time.
Sucking each other right now.
That's all they talk. It's not even that. That's all they do. It's all they talk about. They told me about it, of course." Instead, she told the truth. She thinks, "Oh no, that's weird. No, these guys don't suck cocks all the time.
They didn't
They
say
never
that.
said anything about that. They
I
never
don't-
say anything about that because
I
I know
don't-
they don't suck cocks."
Honestly, I feel like even just saying S and a C would like register with me, because I've never really even heard two men aggressively talking like out loud about sucking each other's penises. Because largely I feel like they do that at home. They love each other. I don't know. I don't know what they don't need to yell it at each other.
Sounds like someone who needs to be in the hole.
But her saying they never told me that contradicted what Miscavige was saying. Made
Call
him
me a
look like
fucking
a
liar?
fool.
You call me a fucking liar?
Mhm. Therefore, Miscavige transferred his ire from the two cocksuckers, so-called cocksuckers, to Debbie, calling her a liar.
You call me a liar? You're a fucking liar.
Nah.
I'm rubber. I'm the fucking rubber motherfucker.
Whoa.
You're the fucking glue fucking bitch.
Mhm.
Whoa, anything you say sticks to me?
Fuck you.
Okay.
Sucking cocks on Hollywood Boulevard.
I would. I mean, sure.
And she was now the one who had transgressed. Now she was the one who needed to confess.
So what?
Well, Miscavige said, it's obvious that you're lying, and it's obvious that you're covering for these two cocksuckers. And therefore, if you're covering for these men who suck cocks, then you must also be gay as well because you're all in it together.
You're a cabal.
So
Mhm.
she's a pussy licker.
Yes.
Yep.
And so Miscavige let loose the rest of the executives who were all too eager to heap abuse on someone else. That was another feature of the whole, is that once Miscavige gave everyone a target, everyone was relieved that it wasn't
Sure.
them.
You
So
know-
therefore they fucking go with the other person.
But now I guess it all comes together when it comes to people like the Maverick or John Travolta. When it comes to them being gay, perhaps.
Oh, yeah, well,
you know
the
how,
idea-
why Scientology truly did think that was so bad. And
Oh,
why they're
they're
like,
deeply
once you
homophobic.
told me that,
Yeah.
then we know we have something, as opposed to like, who no one cares.
That
Yeah.
was the LRH was deeply homophobic,
Okay.
and David because his son came out and he disavowed his son and
Yeah.
all that shit. And
Oh.
David Miscavige is right off the. I think that he actually ups it.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely does.
Okay, that's interesting.
Well, as a result of all this, Debbie Cook was made to wear a sign around her neck that said lesbian, and they forced her to stand in a trash can.
Was it Dick's Last Resort?
It is close.
And all the rest of the executives sat around hurling insults at her. They poured water on her head. But this wasn't the first
It's a
nor the
fucking hate crime.
yeah. This wasn't the first nor the last time something like this happened to an executive. But the executives soon began to realize that the only way out of the hole was to lie.
Of course.
But lie in just the right way.
How?
They just had to fucking trial and error.
Yep.
But
Turtles are fast. Fish are dry.
You're heading into 1984 territory, but that's the truth.
Mhm.
Where you like it's why there was a mass exodus right after this time period.
Yeah.
Because this is just stripping any single thing that you thought was legitimate about what you were doing there is currently being systematically ripped from you in the whole. Because you realize like it's not about ethics. It's not about you going clear. It's not about the meter. It's like now we're just like, oh, now we're prisoners.
yeah, and what LRH always realized is that you got to keep them just confused enough. Like, you got to keep them just confused enough and to have them like, okay, I think I understand. But with David Miscavige, it's just pure confusion
Again,
and terror and chaos.
Benefits over the punishments. At some point, they do have to equalize. LRH kind of understood a little bit
carrot and the stick.
in terms of creating a religion is that you must create things like, what are we giving you that is allowing you to take the negatives? Like, what are we providing that's good? Like, and for a while, like he was feeding people and they used to celebrate Christmas. Like Christmas and New Year's Eve were like huge times for Scientology. David Miscavige stopped all that. He used to do like, there were things that he used to kind of put mechanisms in place that made it kind of feel like a funny kooky place to be a little bit.
Yeah.
But David Miscavige just eliminated all of whatever fun that was there before, whatever good was there before is like gone. And there was very little before.
The Catholic Church, perhaps there was a situation with your priest as a child, but think about all the free wine.
That's what that is kind of what they say.
They give you bread,
with
they give you some
spiritual
wine.
counseling.
Yeah. All right.
Rise from your grave.
But the thing is that lying sometimes wasn't an option, and sometimes things went way too fucking far. Because every once in a while, David Miscavige would ratchet the psychological torture up to, I'd say, a 7.
Okay.
That's 7 or 8 is about as high as he possibly could get.
Yeah, like what's 10?
Rock
Abu Ghraib. Right? That's like 10. Right? That's the very top.
Maybe Rocktario.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a 10.
Yeah.
But in David Miscavige's case, his 7 was the infamous musical chairs game.
Yeah, it's in the Going Clear documentary,
Yes.
which is still great.
Yeah,
Watch that.
Yeah.
one.
Let's revisit it one more time, just for those of you who haven't seen Going Clear. After gathering up his favorite punching bags, Miscavige told them all that they were going to play a game of musical chairs. They're going to use Bohemian Rhapsody as the song.
Oh, fun.
The last one left, he said, would be allowed to leave the hole. But true to form, this was not just about a reward for one person. Rather, it was about the psychological torture of them all. Miscavige told them that everyone who lost would almost immediately be separated from their families and shipped off to a far unknown destination.
Meanwhile, all of their families had already been absolutely decimated. Mike Rinder's family was torn apart. I mean, he let it, but, now he knows. But his family was torn apart. He hadn't seen his kids for like a decade.
Yeah.
He hadn't seen his parents. They were all in Scientology. And so it's like, even that's an empty threat.
Yeah, but to make it all the more concrete, Miscavige even rented moving trucks and parked them outside of the building. But of course, none of it was real. The threats were empty, and nobody was told this until the game was over. But he did make everybody sit there and think about it. You are going. You are leaving. You are going to be sent somewhere even worse than this place right here, and you'll never see your fucking family ever again. And it was really about David Miscavige's pleasure. That's what they said, is that he sat and looked on. He orchestrated this whole thing with a sort of glee.
He's I think he's a little psycho.
I'm going to put the here so you could see Mark Headley on his account, on his Blown for Good YouTube page. He put a bunch of listed nicknames he had in the Sea Org for David Miscavige. And one of my favorite was Captain Dungy Misleadervich. And then there's
rolls off the tongue.
Captain Fucktard, Captain Footbullet, Clam King, Chunky Head, Dainty Miss, Dainty Scabby Bitch. I actually really like. I like Dainty Scabby Bitch. And Damaged Mismanage.
Yeah, Damaged Mismanage is great. What was that first one? Dainty Bungled Butt?
Dainty Scabby Bitch.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, chicken of the board. Whoa.
Chicken of the board. Nice.
Now, even though the psychological torture was intense, there was also room to prove to David that you were loyal because more executives were arriving all the time. And of course, when they came in, they didn't know what the fuck was going on. At its peak, it's estimated the hole held 140 people.
Dang, that's a big ass hole.
Oh yeah, man. And it started as trailers attached to each other, and then he moved it to this building. He just made it this like fucking building, and it's this ramshackle piece of shit in the middle of the desert.
That's where the reenactment from, I believe that was My Scientology movie, does that full reenactment, which is really good.
Mm-hmm. Everyone suffered from a lack of sleep and nutrition, and everyone had to live in fear of the possibility that anyone could slap, punch, or kick them at any time. But there were also the far stranger physical punishments. One particularly weird punishment was when executives would be made to crawl around on the conference room floor on their hands and knees for hours at a time. This was industrial carpet. This isn't the nice shag carpet we have here at the studio.
Humble brag.
Thank you.
Yes, this nice 1983 shag carpet that we have
and
here.
thick.
Nice.
Good in heat building.
Yeah. But anyway, it's industrial carpet. It's horrible. Like, it's made to just be, it's made to fucking do whatever you want to on it. It's not made to be nice.
But it would cover them in fucking rug burns.
Well, they're wearing shorts, so they're going around on their hands and knees, and it's not fatal, but it is excruciatingly painful.
Sucks.
Because they make them do it day after day. You do it all day long, and then before scabs could form on your knees, you had to do it again the next day.
It fucking sucks.
Yeah, Mike Rinder, he said he still has scars on his knees from going through at least half a dozen rounds of this.
Wow.
And when it came to the abuse Rinder suffered, he seemed to be David Miscavige's favorite person to pile on. On possibly the worst day Rinder had, Marty Rathbun physically attacked him to try to get him to come clean. And Rathbun was particularly angry because he'd been thrown in the hole because he had failed to get Mike Rinder to come clean when he was on the outside. So he got put in the hole to like, okay, you can't do it from the outside. You fucking go in the hole and you do it from in there.
And Marty Rathbun's fucking scary too. He's another one that was the head. Like he's he's scary.
But what do they want Rinder to say?
I fucked up. I mean, who knows?
Who knows?
Like I fucked
There's
up.
There's nothing he could have said.
Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, because he was truly David Miscavige's, like, he was the biggest target.
Oh, wow.
So Rathbun went in there. He sat on Rinder's chest. He put his hands around Rinder's throat and led a mob of Scientology executives in a chant that went, "Come clean, Rinder. Come clean, Rinder." He even had his fucking wife joining in.
Well, that's
Come
what
clean,
destroyed.
Rinder.
That's destroyed their relationship. Was when he realized, when his wife joined in, and he was like, "Oh shit, this is really like one for one. Like no one is backing up anybody."
Yeah, that's bad.
But in one of his first moments of clarity, as Rathbun sat on his chest, Rinder whispered,
"Marty, I don't want to play this game anymore."
Incredibly, Rathbun agreed and said,
"Me neither."
They literally like had to go where they're like,
Curious.
yeah. David Miscavige from underneath them.
I'm curious.
yeah, he's sitting there, he's like,
I don't want to play this fucking game anymore.
and like they both snapped out of it for just a second.
Yeah, like I don't either. They realize it's like they've just been driven completely insane.
Yeah.
And it's why it's so difficult to come out of it because of the things that you have done while inside of it.
Right.
You became somebody else's fucking attack dog over
it's also-
garbage, over absolute nothing. Literally, there's no substance to it.
Yeah.
Right. There's also something so juvenile about it.
Yes.
It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, they're all like 50.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's embarrassing.
it's meaningless.
Yeah.
Well, Rathbun was let out of the hole a few days later, and despite the fact that he'd been in Miscavige's inner circle since the mid-'80s,
He was one of the scary big ones.
he escaped Scientology for good. He just got on a motorcycle and left.
Well, this is the
Kinda
thing
cool.
too.
Yeah.
This is where like we'll get into when you get into the argument of like what's the difference between a cult and a religion. And I think that if you have to do things like one of the secretaries had to hide in the trunk of a delivery man's car to
Right.
get out. The fact that Mark Headley, when he left, he was run off the road by security officers and he was not
Right.
saved until a police officer came and got him. Like, these are the things. Mike Rinder had to leave in the middle of the night, just with a
Right.
cell phone, whatever was on his body, whatever files he could abscond with to at least prove something, like at least say like, hey, there's something's happening inside of it without being noticed. But yeah, they had to run. They
I mean, say what you want about the Protestants, but they don't want you.
No,
You know, so there's like most churches are just like, you better we'll kick you out right now.
they do.
Get outta
Yeah. They want you to like, yeah. But that's feel like again, what are we fighting for here?
That's crazy.
Well, as far as other executives who got pushed too far, an executive named Tom DeVot, around the same time, snapped in the hole while the rest of the executives were attacking him. Tom screamed that Miscavige was an insane SP and that they were all as nuts as David.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, they did that.
It's the worst thing he could possibly say. And while you'd
Yes.
think this would garner the worst punishment possible for DeVot, he was instead taken out of the hole lest he start convincing others.
He passed the test.
He did. Well, he probably got put wherever the hell it was he was supposed to go. Yeah, a bad place.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, but the spell was broken. You know, you get one guy in there, like one guy
Right.
starts screaming that he's an insane SP. He keeps saying it over and over and over again.
Mhm.
So they took him out of there. They put him into RPF, which before the hole was the worst place you could go for Scientology. They also brought out Mike Rinder. They had Mark Rinder guard him. And then ultimately, Mike Rinder failed to keep DeVot in Scientology. But when DeVot left,
Wow.
Rinder began thinking, like, holy fuck, if Tom DeVot can leave, maybe I can leave too.
I
You
can now
see those
leave.
things that are right beneath you, your feet?
I mean,
Use them.
it's really difficult because what if they do go all the way? What if
I
they
know,
that guy
I
Mark
know.
Headley really could have been killed? Could have been
Right.
killed by what they did.
Yep.
Yeah, not too long after, Rinder escaped in England and eventually got a hold of Tom DeVot. And Tom DeVot invited Rinder to stay with him in Kissimmee, Florida.
Don't mind if I do.
Kiss of me, kiss of you.
Oh,
Yes,
Italian.
indeed, yes.
Well, after Rinder convinced DeVot for sure that he wasn't a spy, he had to spend a couple of days saying like, no, I'm out too.
Yeah, you got to sweatbox him.
Yeah, DeVot told him to go to the local Blockbuster and rent every movie that you haven't seen for the last 20 years.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, because Scientologists aren't allowed to ingest pop culture.
Well,
at
anything
all.
that could possibly shake their belief system.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing. That pool scene in Wild Things really shook me.
Yeah, I got interpolated.
Well, finally, though, after gathering his thoughts, Rinder sent a letter to his wife asking her to escape too. I am out. Come join me. Bring the kids.
Yeah.
She quite literally told him to fuck off. And she added a P.S. in her letter telling him to fuck off, that she would send divorce papers soon and would, quote, brief the kids.
Oh.
By 2008, Rinder had gotten a job as a used car salesman at a Toyota dealership in Virginia, and he was living a relatively normal life. Now, of course, his ex-wife, brother, and children, they kept sending him letters, telling him to kill himself, but using like Scientology language. They told him that he should, quote, check out of this game and go sit on a rock for a few million years.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it just sounds like space jazz, but it is Scientology's threats. Yeah.
Yeah, she wants me to be a lizard.
They called him a, quote, overwhelmed, implanted, ev-perp being.
Okay, yeah, sure. Hey,
Wow.
hey.
I didn't know we were getting this deep,
Seriously,
guys.
honestly, I think
Can
a
we
lot of
even
those.
say this?
That should be bleeped.
Mm-hmm. And they said that he was 95% in the American Psychiatric Association camp.
Oh.
Oddly, when Scientologists make this APA accusation, they always say 95% and not 100, and no one knows why.
It's because no one's 100% of anything.
That's
what I would say. Nobody's 100% of anything.
Yeah, so
There's
95%.
5% of you, probably cocksucker.
It's mostly semen. Yeah, that's true.
But sometime later, Rinder discovered that Marty Rathbun had also escaped and was working as a reporter for a small local newspaper in South Texas. They both decided it was their duty to speak out against Scientology, and they've both been doing it ever since, even though Rinder claims that he's whistleblowing to, quote, save Hubbard's legacy.
He's walked that back a little bit more now. Now that he's like way out, he's been way more talking about the what LRH was kind of a con man. And so like, as I listened to the podcast, because he did a podcast with Leah Remini, Fair Game, and it's like, and you can kind of see it takes a minute.
Yeah.
Of course it does,
to have
man.
the lessons leak out.
Yeah, when he wrote his book, he was still like, Hubbard's legacy, man. Miscavige is evil, and that's what I'm down for. But yeah, it's good to know. I mean, it's good to know that he's come out of it even further.
He's trying
It's
to.
tough, dude.
It's
You're
very difficult.
crawling on your hands and knees,
You bought
choking
in
out
for a
your
long-
buddies.
And also, there is that weird psychosomatic effect that some of the early training has. Like, people do have breakthroughs on some of these things. But you know, something has to happen to keep you, to at least get you there.
Yeah.
To begin with.
Yeah. And remember, when people come out of those things, these sorts of fucking horrible situations, welcome them with open arms.
Yeah,
welcome them. Like, make sure that they have a place to escape to. Otherwise, they're going to stay in and keep acting horribly.
Understand when you take them to a old country buffet, they're going to freak out
They're
when they
going
see
to
a salad
scream.
bar.
They're going to be like,
beans, rice and beans. No, it's next to an enchilada. So that's good. You would like those rice and beans.
I can't eat a food that has food hidden within it because I don't know what that inner food is.
It's a burrito.
But while Rinder and Rathbun are the two highest-ranking Scientology executives to speak out against Scientology, the most famous Scientologist in existence, a certain Top Gun, he still has not addressed the many crimes his religion has committed. In fact, he seems to be more devout than ever, and it would be fair to say that David Miscavige was, at many points in his life, one of his best friends.
Lucky guy.
I guess so.
I'm talking, of course, about the subject of today's blind item.
Who is it? I
Who
can't
could
see
it be? I'm so going to be shocked.
Tom Cruise!
Whoa, it's Tom Cruise!
TC, baby.
Now, Tom Cruise and David Miscavige actually have a lot in common. By the age of 25, Tom Cruise had already starred in Risky Business and Top Gun, making him a massive movie star. Likewise, David Miscavige was de facto leading Scientology by the age of 25. And the two men are only about 2 years apart in age.
I wish that I could show you this picture. It's in a video of David Miscavige standing next to Tom Cruise. We joke about how Tom Cruise like towers over David Miscavige, but he kind of fucking does.
Yeah.
He's kind
Well,
of
is he wearing the inner heel though?
He might have had his legs longened. Like, I'm not certain. But it's this really weird, like, it reminds me of the video. Do you remember when they did the the flip phone footage of Saddam Hussein getting hanged?
Yeah.
Right during that
I
time?
love that footage.
Every night. It's
Every
the only way
day.
I sleep.
Yeah.
And so, but it's like footage like that. It's a hand, and you see like Tom, like it's him like doing actor hands while everyone's applauding. They're standing up and applauding him in a room because it's the day
Right.
after his big birthday party.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've never seen the birthday party on the free wins for Tom Cruise footage. Look that up because it's Tom Cruise doing the like he dances across the stage. Everybody dances.
Sure.
But you see they're all laughing. David Miscavige is at fucking his like shoulders. Like he's at Tom Cruise's shoulders. And you see the guy filming and stuff, and then you see David Miscavige look right down the pipe at the cell phone camera and point at him. And you see the camera just like zip. That's
Scary.
Well, to that point, both men are short little hard bodies. Even though Tom Cruise is a bit taller of a short little hard body, but both have naturally aggressive personalities. They both have that East Coast flair.
Yeah.
Tom does his own
Like me.
stunts.
Yeah.
I'm an East Coast guy.
And you do your own stunts as well.
Yep.
Flying crossbody.
And both men love cars, motorcycles, and extreme sports. Now, in the mid-'80s, Miscavige had been on the lookout for the right celebrity to be the face of Scientology because John Travolta's star had begun to rapidly fade after a long string of critical flops. Sure, did Staying Alive do well at the box office? Yes.
Okay.
But it hasn't really held up well in the span of time.
No. And the movie that he did with Olivia Newton-John right after, in which they were both angels.
Yeah.
And then the movie he did
The Boy
in
in
which
the Bubble.
there was the boy that, but that was before. That was when he was still on the way up.
She's like the wind. Remember that song? You sing that song too?
A lot of music.
A lot of music today, yeah. But right around the time that Travolta was saying yes to all these stinkers, the Golden Boy entered Scientology through a woman named Mimi Rogers. Rogers, a born Scientologist, was Tom Cruise's first wife. Her parents had joined back when it was just about Dianetics, but they'd left during the late 70s when things got weird. At least when they were starting to like infiltrate the IRS. Stuff like that.
I'm a little bit surprised that he didn't go with like a Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme is very difficult to pin down.
Yeah.
Anybody that can split without having your balls like explode like that, it's very difficult. He's very under control.
Yeah.
His perineum can stretch.
I
bro.
think, yes. He was and he's also, I think he was a very violent man.
No, just in the movies.
He's a mean man.
I actually don't know.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
All right, but either way, he went with Cruise.
You know what Tom Cruise's real name is? Thomas Mapother.
I think it's Mapother.
That sounds like a faker name than Tom Cruise.
Hey, man, it's all about transformation.
Yeah.
Magical transformation. LRH understood it. It's what you're supposed to do.
Apather.
It's like Thomas Mapother the Fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's family.
No woman would fantasize about Thomas Mapother.
You've never seen the hips of a Thomas Mapother. You don't know. You don't
It's
know.
Tom Cruise.
He could be the most fantastic dancer outside of Delaware.
Now, I've seen him dance.
Well, when Mimi's parents left, she stayed in, and she was quite the celebrity recruiter. She also brought in Sonny Bono.
This is flirty fishing.
Mm-hmm. Interestingly, though, it took a bit for Miscavige to actually hear that Tom Cruise was already in the church. Miscavige didn't bring him in. He didn't target him. He was just like, holy shit, the guy from fucking Risky Business is a Scientologist now?
Wow.
See, Mimi had brought Tom into the fold during the filming of Top Gun. Think about that the next time you watch Top Gun.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom Cruise actually credited Scientology with helping to cure his dyslexia.
I think that he just found more people that will read him scripts. Like, the idea of it, I don't know if it cures. Like, I don't know, man. I love letters are upside down.
And so, once Miscavige learned
That's
that Tom...
not what dyslexia is, by the way.
Oh, shit. Letters and numbers? All right with me. Oh, vroom, vroom.
Really not understanding dyslexia. That's okay.
Gross misunderstanding.
I ain't no doctor. I'm a suppressive person.
I see. And so, once Miscavige learned that Tom Cruise was a part of the church, he had Cruise brought to Gold Base. His top people were assigned to audit and supervise the man that Miscavige would one day affectionately refer to as TC.
Oh.
Tom was happy, David was happy, and Mimi was happy.
Yeah.
But then came Days of Thunder.
Yeah, man.
Days of Thunder, very popular. Didn't he have the Mountain Dew car?
No, man. But what happened was
Mellow Yellow.
Mellow Yellow
Mellow
car.
Yellow.
That's right, yeah.
No, it's when Australian Beauty came walking in that life of his.
Mhm.
And he knew he needed to hop up on a little stool because he needed to get up inside that head.
Yep. Nicole Kidman.
He saw a movie called Dead Calm.
Mm.
Saw Nicole Kidman. He said, that woman is going to be my next wife.
And he just went into the TV screen and grabbed her.
That's what happens when you're a movie star. You actually can do that. So
Isn't that weird?
Well, he had enough star power by 1989 to say, go get Nicole Kidman. Put her in my next movie. Make her my love interest in this Vroom Vroom car movie I'm about to be in.
Yep.
Wow.
That's awesome. That's kind of hot.
Right? Mellow Yellow.
That's right.
Nice.
Seeing a Hollywood power couple as an obvious asset to Scientology, Miscavige decided that it would be better for everyone if TC and Mimi got a divorce
Yeah.
so Tom could be free to pursue Nicole Kidman.
Listen, there's one thing I know. It's how to love.
Yeah.
And how to maintain a relationship, Tom. All right, because Scientologists, obviously, what we do best here is fix marriages. And I think the first way to fix your marriage, right? Fucking blow it up. Right? We just got to get rid of this one because it's bad. So we need to revamp.
Well, seemingly to introduce difficulties, Cruise was all of a sudden telling Mimi that he planned on returning to his original ambition, becoming a monk.
Him and Scorsese are very similar in the fact that he was very... I wonder, because I also was obsessed with being like a priest when I was a little boy, too.
Yeah.
There's something, it's connected to acting.
We know what it is with you want robes.
And power and
you
all
like
this
power,
stuff.
you like
Yeah,
necklaces,
unquestioned, all
garb,
that stuff. Yeah, I love all that shit.
bones of a
I
saint
love
in a
merch.
table.
Yeah, I love all that shit. But it's like, so you can see how like a super nerd like that, because that's really all monk is.
Yeah.
Right, in a way?
Yeah.
But you're not a religious super nerd.
Yeah. Well,
because you think that you're fucking, you can do it, right? That you can touch the Godhead. And I feel like that's the type of quality that's perfect for a Scientologist.
I did see a meme the other day, and it asked Buddha. It said, this is true.
God help me. Do
It
you
asked
think that
the
they
Buddha,
just...
and it said, what did you learn when you meditated? And what Buddha said, I learned nothing, but what I lost, anger, frustration, selfishness, ego.
Playing the flutes.
So that's what did you learn? But it's not what you learn,
There's
it's
so
what you
much reading that
lose.
we do.
That's what you lose. It's not what you,
God.
that wouldn't it be what, it's not what you gain, it's what you lose.
It's what
Isn't
you
that
lose.
We are better than memes. Memes are not the only way we need to experience spiritual evolution.
But aren't memes fun? Everything is fine. And there's the dog and the house is on fire.
I know the meme.
That's a meme.
Well, that's the thing. Tom Cruise told his wife, hey, I'm becoming a monk. I got to be celibate to, quote, maintain the purity of my instrument.
Man, I don't know about him, man. I got to get my gunk out of my instrument for me to feel good.
Well, pretty soon.
That's why you're an SP, buddy.
I know.
Yeah, too much gunk.
Too much gunk.
You mean?
Well, pretty soon, Mimi was served divorce papers by Marty Rathbun. And after Cruise and Kidman got together, Miscavige began pressuring Cruise to convert Nicole Kidman.
Oh, what a nightmare for her. She had probably had no idea that this was all, it's almost like one of those 80s movies where it was all a setup and like the hot guy was supposed to date the ugly girl, but then he falls for her.
Oh, yeah.
And then she's like, this whole thing was a game.
Yeah.
He showed up on their honeymoon.
Miscavige did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, I'd kill him. I'd kill him.
It's weird. Like, because that's the thing. I wonder so much, like, how much Tom Cruise lets, how much of Scientology does he let his romantic conquest see prior to marriage?
Well, again, he's the only one really experiencing 100% benefits from Scientology.
Yeah.
So he's like, come look at this wonderful world where everybody does whatever I say.
Yeah.
And everybody's smiling and they're just so friendly and giving and it's such a cool community. David's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, he's great. I mean, it's really just because you're being treated so kind of well.
Of course.
You're being treated like a pharaoh.
Yeah, and he also, it seems like, I know he definitely did this with Katie Holmes. I think he might have done it with Nicole Kidman as well. He gets married real fucking fast.
Yeah.
Like, I think
It's old school.
Yeah, I think he asked Katie Holmes to marry him like something like 8 weeks after they started dating.
They don't believe in sex out of wedlock, I believe. Scientologists say that the whole point is that you're supposed to get married and like make some kind of child that then they scoop up and train on their own.
Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, he gets him in fast. Now, as we know, Kidman has always been, let's say, unenthusiastic about Scientology.
Right.
But that's not for lack of trying on the part of David Miscavige. In order to reel her in, he set up Tom and Nicole with a special bungalow at Gold Base with a private rose garden and gave them both anything they wanted, no matter how ridiculous. When they expressed a casual desire to play tennis, for example, Miscavige built them a tennis court.
Full regulation, leveled ground, full everything, top of the line, like Wimbledon style tennis court.
Okay.
Or built them a tennis court, had a tennis court built.
Yeah, he didn't do much.
Yeah.
He sent an email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they said they wanted to run through a field of wildflowers together, he tasked the Gold Base Sea Org members, the near slaves, if you'll remember, to transform the desert surrounding Gold Base into a garden of wildflowers.
He said go
great.
literally do the impossible. Like
Yeah.
when he told Mike Rinder to go get LRH a posthumous Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's a straw. Go suck out the water from the ocean.
Yeah, it failed. It was fucking stupid. So
Right.
Miscavige found the nearest meadow, plowed it, and planted it with flowers. So Tom and Nicole could realize the wildflower fantasy.
This is the crux of that's why we're even covering this end of the story, is that this is the real crux of what's going on at the heart of Scientology, is that every single time you see one of these ridiculous things being asked for, that's being done by people for free.
Yeah.
And they go and have to toil for hours. They're being forced to do these insane things. Right. And then the only people who see benefit are the people up top. And then they're also then punished for it's both a punishment. It's like, here's a job that has a punishment attached to it. And then we're going to punish you on top of it, because no matter what you do, it's going to be incorrect. Mm-hmm. And everybody around you is going to be moved and shifted to various departments, because no matter what's going on, every single time they have any sort of event, he's about to fire everybody. Especially at this point, most of the time they are organizing all of the shit that's going on outside of the hole from the hole. They're in the hole doing the things that he wants them to do, organizing these things for the other people outside of it doing the free labor.
Yeah. It does make, if anyone has seen the leaked footage of Howard Stern giving a company meeting, it does seem worse than that.
Oh, very much so. Oh, yeah. The Pelican Brief. The famous Pelican Brief.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that it's not like Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman are sitting there demanding this stuff, like, build me a tennis court. They're expressing casual desires, and David Miscavige is building a world for them. And they're probably not even quite aware that he's building this frictionless world.
I mean, Nicole Kidman is seeing it.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman's seeing it, but Tom Cruise is not. He's a very physical man. Well, I would not call him an intellectual.
Actors, how do you put it? You don't have to be the smartest guy in the world.
Well, would you say
be a very good actor?
Would you say it's actually negative to have your own thoughts?
I actually think yes.
Yeah.
I think that actually a lot of times you meet, like, John Travolta. Love him.
Yeah.
He's not really good with a complicated question. Patrick Swayze is also one of those dudes, right? Again, R.I.P. Love him as a performer. He's got a lot going on. They talk about, like, Jimi Hendrix, about how, like, terrible interview. You know what I mean? Like, they're artists, so they don't have to be that great at maybe understanding a lot of things.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's why I can't learn lines, because my mind is already full of my own fucking thoughts.
So he's trying to say that he's too smart to be an actor.
No, I'm not saying I'm too smart. I'm saying that my thoughts are too out of control to be an actor.
I mean, look at Johnny Depp, okay?
Look at Johnny Depp, number one. But also, we actually have some fantastic footage of you as Toeless Joe. And
that was improv, my friend.
Yeah, that's true art.
There were no lines in that fucking role besides grunts and screams.
I'm Toeless Joe, but I also think that it was way more of an acting job. It was more of a dance performance.
No, it was those were the lines. Those are the only noises.
I'm Toeless Joe.
No, I actually never said I'm Toeless Joe.
Yeah, I have that footage. Yep.
Oh, huh.
I'm waiting. I have more footage. We shot a lot that day.
It was a long day.
Yeah.
Now that I remember.
Indeed.
Yeah. It ended with me being drug out of the door of 656 Metropolitan Avenue, covered in shaving cream.
It was fun.
And blood, and fake blood.
Yeah.
Rise from your grave.
Now, seemingly, David Miscavige not only made Cruise's dreams come true, but he also made sure, as I said, that TC lived in a complication-free bubble built by Scientology. As Henry said, this cannot be stressed enough. It meant that it was built by Sea Org members who were, for all intents and purposes, captives. In some cases, in many cases, actually, they were teenagers. You're talking like 16, 17-year-old kids who are basically slave labor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, when Cruise and Kidman's gold-based bungalow was damaged by a mudslide, Sea Org members worked 16 hours a day to fix it. When Tom Cruise entrusted money to Scientology stockbrokers who quickly lost that money, those same stockbrokers had to pay back Cruise's losses with their own money.
Now that's a good hedge fund.
Yeah, I've ruined a couple of places with a mudslide myself.
Shit. He's talking about diarrhea. As brave as Alec Murdoch.
Oh, thank you.
It's just brave as
Wow.
Now, Cruise and Miscavige's relationship is interesting because it's unknown what side of himself Miscavige chooses to show to Tom Cruise.
It's the fun side. It's the only time he smiles when him and TC are hanging out.
What we do know is that every effort is made to keep the punishment of Sea Org members out of Tom Cruise's purview. He's not getting tours of the hole, you know?
Right.
Oh, yeah, he might. I mean, as far as I know, I don't think he is. I think that they keep it fairly separate. He sees a very rosy version of it. But at some point, how much can you not? He's in the SP world.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, who knows? He might be truly, he's also very closed off, I bet. He's living on a compound.
Well, he just also gets a completely different version.
Yes.
Yeah. But we do know that TC and Miscavige were close enough where David would visit movie sets.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine this fucking little psychopath coming onto a set.
I mean, they had to do with, use Wolf of Wall Street as an example. They had to make sure that Jordan Belfort could not come to set. They literally had to keep him off set because there was during the Goodfellas, right? Like Henry Hill would show up.
Right.
And like say shit and became really rough. Like this, so like, they can't. You shouldn't be there yet.
Saw a pretty funny interview with Ray Liotta the other day.
He's on R.I.P. as well.
R.I.P. Man, Chantix.
Yeah. He said he met Henry Hill, and Henry Hill thanked him for portraying him in such a nice way.
Oh God! Yeah, he's like, I was a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
Well, on the Days of Thunder shoot, Miscavige showed up and TC took him skydiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. And Miscavige, he has some very real influences on TC's acting choices. Apparently, Tom Cruise modeled his character in A Few Good Men on David Miscavige.
He plays a horrible person.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Exactly.
But but righteous.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. And but of course, the little man uses that as a bragging point constantly.
It is really funny because when they went into the making of Battlefield Earth, so we know that David Miscavige went full whole hog trying to get Battlefield Earth done, which has a $75 million budget. Right? Like, you got this together. I want a budget
Not
movie.
a penny wasted.
It's rough. They basically said most of it went to John Travolta's budget. That's what they insinuated. But David Miscavige obviously goes to the ropes, right? It's like Battlefield Earth is going to be fucking huge. Everybody's going to fucking love this.
Right.
Fucking cocksuckers. And then bombs.
Yeah.
At what point is the movie so bad it becomes money laundering?
It is. I don't know. I actually don't know. That's a very good question. But
Now you're just talking the producers.
yeah, he's talking about this.
Yeah.
But TC calls up David. And he was like, let's have a meeting. And TC goes up to David Miscavige after the movie fucking bombs.
Yeah.
And he's just like, what the fuck, David? And he's like, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? He's like, this is Scientology's movie production studio. I want nothing but hits. You got to be making hits if we're doing these things.
Tom is correct on that.
Yeah. And so David Miscavige was like, I had nothing to do with that film.
Mm-hmm.
And then that just like Tom Cruise got on his little motorcycle and David just jumped on that little back. Just like gripped with his little knees to his little his back, just grinding those little packets.
143 pounds of pure male.
Yeah. Yum, yum. Gruesome doosom.
Combined weight.
I mean, the general feeling around the Scientology offices at the time is that it was actually so bad that it like briefly broke the spell of Scientology, and like people were actually asking around the offices, like, did nobody watch this thing before it went out?
Yeah, like, is this not, are we not doing a quality check? Because I know I get punishment when I'm down stats.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any more of a down stat than a $75 million budget movie making $3 million.
I mean, say what you want about Christianity. They got some fucking hits, dude.
They do.
They do.
10 Commandments holds up.
Yeah, Charlton Heston, I think he's still alive.
Now, Miscavige saw Tom Cruise as the entry point to access some of the most influential people in Hollywood. And if Miscavige could bring them on board, then it would be another big step towards public acceptance. For example, when Kidman and Cruise starred in Far and Away in 1992, they convinced director Ron Howard to have dinner with David Miscavige at Gold Base. It didn't take, as it also didn't take for co-star Cole Meany, who was also they also tried to recruit him, Cole Meany, the beloved Chief O'Brien.
Of course.
And Deep Space Nine.
I don't know that, but
No, I do know that. But
You do know that, yeah, Chief O'Brien. Oh, Keiko. Oh, the Cardassians.
The Kardashians are in Deep Space Nine.
Kardashians.
No, Cardassians.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they got big necks. Attention, Bajoran workers.
I don't know. This is where I'm lost.
I don't know. But either way, they're not getting that director guy. They're not going to get him.
Ron Howard?
Yeah, they ain't going to get him.
Oh, no, Ron Howard didn't want it. No.
Now, Cole Meany, many years later in like 2011, said that back then the only two places in Hollywood that you could network were Scientology and Alcoholics Anonymous meetings.
Oh, yeah, that makes
That's hilarious.
That makes a lot of fucking sense. A lot of times it's one or the other. The Celebrity Center in L.A. was an old hotel that turned into the spot where, and it used to be a place where you used to go and you can hang out, but now it's like, now you have to hit a certain level to go to the Celebrity Center in LA because the problem is that people kept showing up hoping to bump into some celebrity and they'd have their their scripts and shit, and then eventually they're like, no, this isn't for you noobs, this isn't for parishioners.
Cool. That's a fun place to be.
Yeah, it is.
Well, they didn't get Ron Howard, and likewise, Steven Spielberg was also courted when he was making Minority Report with Tom Cruise.
Great movie.
I mean, this is starting to really fuck with him too, because more and more people are like, Tom Cruise, hey, listen, you're paid to promote movies.
Yeah.
Or you need to stop do it. And then he listened to the movie people.
Yeah.
Right.
Spielberg also resisted, but Tom Cruise and David Miscavige, they figured that the only reason why Spielberg didn't join was because Spielberg's kids saw a psychiatrist.
Only reason.
That's the only reason. So honestly, they're just looking for a good director.
Yeah, they need
just
one.
They just don't want another
They
Battlefield Earth.
desperately need one.
Do you have to be a Scientologist to direct a Scientologist movie?
Yes. Well, not this Scientology, because Battlefield Earth, the guy who directed that was not.
And the guy who wrote the screenplay also wasn't a also wasn't a Scientologist.
They actually prefer anything that's permanent media. From what I have seen and read, they prefer you to not be a Scientologist, because then you can't protest if you leave later on, like, hey, you can't use my image in that anymore, even though, like... So that's what I've heard.
Okay, I figured they're trying to do that from within. But
Scientologists are too busy to direct films.
they're crawling on the floor, beating each other up.
Too busy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And from what I heard, like, the people who do work for Scientology, it is just like, I'll just do whatever the fuck you want. Give me the paycheck. Because the paycheck is apparently pretty good.
Yeah, they pay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they do those PIs.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Well, the things about Steven Spielberg, of course, no, he's not coming in. He's got a kid who sees a psychiatrist. So Miscavige directed a Scientology group to protest the facility where that psychiatrist worked. This was not a good move in Hollywood.
Probably
Spielberg
not.
called up Tom Cruise and said, "This is unappreciated and inappropriate."
Which is like, that's a deep dressing down from a very proper man. You know what I mean? Like, that idea of that powerful man being like, this is inappropriate. Like,
The unappreciated. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't appreciate it.
And again, like, Tom Cruise went and ripped Miscavige a new hole.
that was also one of Miscavige's favorite terms.
Yeah,
new assholes.
Yeah, ripping new assholes. Yeah, assholes, dicks.
He
balls.
loves. He's
gay.
gay.
He is.
At the very, I mean, he's definitely got like I think he would like to like lick a dick.
I think
At the very
he should
least.
just
At the
be
very
able. I
least,
think
yeah.
I wish
Or
that
at
he would.
least get his penis licked once by Mike Rinder.
Well, who knows? Who knows what he and Tom have done?
Who knows? But the love affair with Scientology actually sputtered out for Tom Cruise for much of the 90s. Partly because of that Time magazine article we talked about last episode. Partly, of course, it was also David Miscavige's meddlings, and it was partly because of the influence of Nicole Kidman. See, Kidman had reached OT2 within a year of joining Scientology, because it seems like the more influential and important a person is, the faster they progress along the bridge to total freedom.
Yep.
Weird.
But after,
I know, crazy, right?
Wow.
But after OT2, Kidman stopped taking courses. She was therefore privately considered a PTS, a potential trouble source. This is the first step towards being declared an SP. And it's likely that her lack of enthusiasm temporarily rubbed off on Tom Cruise.
Yeah, because it's the love of life and his parents of his children and stuff like that. You'd think.
Yeah,
you'd
those
think it
things.
would.
You'd think it would, yeah. Now, Cruise did go to bat for Scientology here and there in the 90s, most notably in the murder of Lisa McPherson at the hands of Scientology officials. But he wasn't auditing much at all. And Miscavige lost his grip even further when Kidman and Cruise disappeared for a year while they filmed Eyes Wide Shut with Stanley Kubrick.
Oh, my.
They were all the way over in England. This was also during Cruise's brief cool period. It was when he also did Magnolia.
Yeah, I mean, when he was really trying to act.
Yeah, and
during
he's
that time period.
incredible
So
in
good.
Magnolia.
Yeah.
He's so good at Magnolia.
Very good.
But-
And fucking Eyes Wide Shut. Eyes Wide Shut's a great movie too.
Yeah, Vanilla Sky, but
Yeah.
Magnolia,
Very
fucking respect the cock, so on and
Sure.
so forth.
Absolutely. Maybe got that from Miscavige.
I honestly, it doesn't.
Actually, man.
Wow.
Whoa.
It really does.
Yeah. But as Scientology does again and again, they caught Tom Cruise during a moment of vulnerability and grief when Kidman was rumored to have had a miscarriage.
And of course, that means it was her fault.
That's when Marty Rathbun basically cornered Cruise and began auditing him again with Miscavige supervising. And of course, the more Cruise was audited, the more he was turned against Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
Eventually, elements within Scientology also turned Kidman and Cruise's kids against Nicole Kidman. And by 2001, just a year or two after Cruise returned, that's all it took.
Yeah.
It did take 200 hours of auditing. But after all that,
Jeez.
Cruise and Kidman quite acrimoniously divorced. And since then, Cruise has never seemed to waver in his faith at all.
Wow.
Yes, and he is
Interesting.
completely out of it. He's back in. But there, in Mark Headley's podcast, he did a podcast and he talked about on his book, I was reading it and blown for good, is that for a while, he was a young man coming up in the Sea Org, and Tom Cruise decided that he needed to get better at auditing. Right? He wanted to audit. He wanted to get back on the auditing training path.
As in,
right?
he wanted to be audited.
No, he wanted to
audit.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He wanted
so-
like he's just a regular guy, you know. He just wants to be
I'm
a
in the
regular
mix. I'm in the
Scientologist.
mix.
Yeah, he's just like you and I.
And so Marty Rathman went up to this kid and he was like, okay, so this is what's going to happen. So TC's looking to audit. He's going to audit you.
I'd be like, what?
This is what he's saying. He's
16-year-old kid.
16-year-old kid. And he's like, so this is the thing. He's going to audit you. The only people who are going to fucking know about this is you, TC, and me. No one else is going to know that you're doing this, right? So they go to what is the LRH's private music room on Gold Base. When they go to, because TC can't go to the regular auditing room because it causes a flurry. Everybody runs around, right? It's too much for him. He has to go play super private, which was this performance room where LRH used to play I think he played the clarinet, a couple of things where you do something.
Jazz clarinet.
He's
like,
so fucking fast.
yeah, dude. But it was styled like a medieval dining hall with giant, was armor, full plate armor, like a standing, it was like 8 sets of armor, a big long table, the big long back chairs, and they would audit in there. And the thing was that the first time they went to audit, the kid, Mark Headley, fell asleep in front of TC, which is the number one crime because it means that you're not paying attention. You're not like logged in. But because it's Tom Cruise, he's still Tom Cruise. So he's like, it's okay, buddy. Buddy, we're going to get through this, buddy. We're going to work on this. And he was like, oh, what we got to do is you need sleep. So, and unlike everybody else who gets punished, they went to Mark Headley and they're like, you need to sleep. From now on, we're taking you off your night job. You're going to go back to, you're going to sleep because you need to be well rested to be audited by Tom Cruise. So like they went, they rehabilitated him. And then finally, you have to attain a condition, a useful condition to be able to be audited. So you get sec checked to see if you're a traitor first. Then they check your condition.
Do that?
E-meters and yelling at you, right? And then they check your condition, and they found that he was in this bad condition. And Tom Cruise,
they said his cholesterol was 170 over 120.
please. No, it's fine. I don't need him right now. I'm not agitated.
No, you're not.
But Tom Cruise he was like, all right, we can't get you in the right. He couldn't get up to the thing that he needed to be. I don't know how they administer the condition. It's another E-meter test. And Tom Cruise is like, you know what'll fix you? Will set me straight when I was having these problems? We got to get you some bee pollen. You got to eat the bee pollen.
Bee pollen?
Yeah, it's just weird supplement shit. And so Mark Headley's like, okay, now this is the biggest secret inside of Scientology right now
bee
at
pollen.
all. No, that Tom Cruise is auditing anybody, that anybody would be able to be worthy to be audited by Tom Cruise, right? Well, now they're just sending him a training boy. So Tom Cruise is like, let's go down to town. We'll figure this out. And so they hop on Tom Cruise's motorcycle. Mark Headley grip into his back. Tom Cruise zips him down to town where he goes to buy bee pollen. Meanwhile, like all of this crowd shows up because fucking Tom Cruise with this weird child on his motorcycle. And it's just this strange scene where he has to go buy him bee pollen. Then he takes the bee pollen. Then magically it works. And now they're auditing for a couple sessions.
Well, fantastic. All right.
No, it's bizarre. This is what happened.
Very different worlds, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, when Tom Cruise came back into Scientology, he allowed Scientology to direct every aspect of his personal life and a fair amount of his professional life, much to his own detriment. See, in 2003, this is why this might answer some questions of why Tom Cruise kind of went a little wacky in the 2000s. This was 2 years after Cruise's return to the fold. Miscavige convinced Tom Cruise to fire his longtime publicist, Pat Kingsley.
Oh.
Kingsley had very wisely advised Cruise to lay off talking about Scientology in public at all.
Just a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, cool it.
Yeah. But she was replaced by Tom Cruise's sister, an ardent Scientologist.
Oh.
So within like a year, maybe 2, Tom Cruise is all of a sudden jumping on Oprah's couch, screaming about how much he's in love with Katie Holmes.
Oh, yeah.
He's having confrontations with Matt Lauer. He's calling psychiatry a pseudoscience. He's attacking Brooke Shields for taking medication for postpartum depression.
Right.
He's being a massive asshole.
Yeah.
And as such, Tom Cruise wasn't quite proving to be the key to the inner sanctum that Miscavige hoped he'd be. For years, Cruise probed the edges of power. It wasn't just Hollywood he was trying to get into. He was trying to get into politics. He met with Bill Clinton, but not when Bill Clinton was president. He's probing. He met with Scooter Libby.
I love a professional named Scooter.
Yeah, Vice President Chief of Staff to Dick Cheney. But Scooter was as far as Tom Cruise could get. He couldn't get to Dick Cheney.
What, Tom? Tom couldn't get to Dick Cheney?
Dick Cheney's got bigger plans.
I guess so.
The closest Tom Cruise came to actually affecting change was when he almost convinced Secretary of Education Ron Page to include LRH's study tech in No Child Left Behind.
That would have been something.
It is interesting.
It
That would
wouldn't
have
have
been
made
the
a
biggest
fucking difference one way or another.
No, but it would have been an actual bragging right.
Yeah.
It would have been where all the rest of it's just fantasy.
Mhm.
Right.
Cruise also missed a lot of opportunities with celebrities. He failed to bring in Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith on a permanent basis. He failed to bring in Victoria or David Beckham, even though Miscavige actually had a full-size football pitch built at Gold Base as a lure in the desert.
Yeah, just done by
Jesus.
just by 16-year-old hands, essentially.
Yeah.
And similarly, Cruise was also unsuccessful in getting low-key Scientologists like Beck to go public. But as far as Tom Cruise went, around the time that Beck married into a powerful Scientology family, around 2004, right around the time that his music went mediocre, now that I think about it.
Oh, wow. What a gig.
Shots fired.
Wow, no kidding. Marcus is really going in. He's been a real SP.
Scientology was, of course, working as, for lack of a better term, they were working as Tom Cruise's wife pimp.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, I remember when I met my wife pimp. Because that was, honestly, it was a game changer. And you were like, wasn't she great?
Yeah. No, she was wonderful. Cheap.
It's a new show. It's right after MILF Manor.
Yeah, wife pimp.
Yeah, wife pimp. You're going to love it.
Rise from your grave.
After things didn't work out with Penelope Cruz following the relationship they started on the set of Vanilla Sky, Penelope Cruz did try on Scientology for a bit, for like a year or so,
She's
maybe a
too
little bit
cool.
less.
She was.
Way too cool, yeah. Well, TC, he ran through a series of young Scientologist ladies groomed especially to be with Tom Cruise.
So weird.
The first was a 19-year-old who'd been born into the church, but she was turned away after about a month. Tom didn't like her.
Okay.
The other was a 25-year-old OT5 named Nazanin Boniati. She was also, I think, in Going Clear.
Yeah.
She was forced to break up with her boyfriend so Tom Cruise could try her on, for lack of a better term.
Oh, awesome.
Boniati was run through the ringer at Gold Base during a hellish 2-week-long audition of sorts, where she was forced to have what I'm sure were exhausting dinners with Cruise and the Miscaviges every night.
I just gotta
my
say,
God.
Naznanians? What's her name? Let me just ask you this question. You're here as a part of, you're at dinner and it's you're liking a salad.
I'm enjoying it.
Wrong answer. I made it to be bad.
Okay, the
But
seafood
now,
was good.
seafood and eat it. That's a funny thing that we say here. Don't eat the seafood either. That's for me. Let me just ask us. Do we look gay?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
TC, what do you think? I like her, Dave.
How does he have the smoker's laugh?
Well, that's the thing is that she did all these dinners, exhausted, being grilled every single fucking night.
Because also she worked 12 hours a day and then got pulled into her fun special dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
She didn't act as expected. She also had a really fucking bad period. She said that she was woozy. She was in horrible pain the entire
Yeah,
time.
she's a human being.
She's a human being, yeah. So she was sent to Flag Base in Clearwater, where she was assigned the condition of treason.
Why?
But she wouldn't go out on a date with Tom Cruise.
Well, but she would go on a date with Tom Cruise, but she didn't act
do
like,
it good.
I don't
she
think
didn't
that
do
Tom
it
took
good.
her on a date. He had awkward dinners with he and David Miscavige. and his
That's a
wife.
date.
Yeah.
David Miscavige is his date monitor. That's his wife pimp. You mean to tell me again? I don't even go to the grocery store without my wife pimp
I know you don't.
because she helps me understand what women like. They like carrots.
Mhm.
They like soft cheeses.
celiac-free muffins.
Yep.
Well, to make up for it, she dug ditches and scrubbed toilets with a toothbrush. That's what a treasonous person does. She was back in good standing after a few months, but she was never again allowed into the Celebrity Center. She was an actress, by the way, and she wasn't allowed to even talk about Tom Cruise. Thankfully, she left Scientology soon after and has since had a relatively successful TV career.
Whoa, flipped and reversed it.
Yeah,
Nice.
She does 5-6 episode runs on things.
Hold that.
Great.
And then, of course, there's Katie Holmes.
Oh, poor Tomcat.
Yeah, the details of which I'm sure you're probably all too familiar with. Needless to say, Scientology tortured this poor woman and made her life a living hell after she decided to leave, to the point where they were chasing her around New York City by the end of it. We all remember that.
I saw it.
Yeah. Long story short, she left because Tom Cruise was weird. Scientology was weird, and her life had turned into a surreal nightmare. She got custody of their kid. She dated Jamie Foxx for 6 years.
Lucky girl.
Yeah, and is slowly returning to stage and screen.
She's tall.
She's very
Natalie
tall.
doubled for her because it's hard for
No
Natalie to do
kidding.
stunt doubles because stunt doubles a lot of times it's because there are not a lot of tall actresses.
Yeah.
But Katie Holmes is like 5'10".
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Good get for Tom.
I guess.
I like it.
Not good for
You know
Katie.
I like it.
Well, he's 5'6", right?
Yeah.
We're not going to bring this up anymore. Henry's a height apologist for all of these people.
We have different lives for different reasons.
Yeah.
Tellingly, though, Katie Holmes and Tom Cruise's wedding was the one in which David Miscavige was Tom Cruise's best man. I cannot stress that enough. This fucking horrible psychopath that we've been talking about for 6 hours now was Tom Cruise's best man in 2008. Was that when it was? When they got married?
Maybe.
Yeah. They actually pulled a Scientologist out of the hole to perform the ceremony.
Yeah. And then, yeah.
And
I
then-
love this
yeah.
stuff because
And then he got drunk and hit on Brooke Shields and they put him back in the hole.
He's back in the hole. Oh, man.
You have to think about that. Brooke Shields still went to the fucking wedding.
Yeah. I guess they made
Hollywood's
up.
a sick place.
It's
very
a strange land.
Now, the thing about the services that Scientology has done for Tom Cruise over the years, wife pimping and such, building all these tennis courts, all this
Imagination
shit.
land come to life.
Yeah. Costs a lot of money.
Right.
But people like Tom Cruise, that's precisely where Scientology gets their liquid assets. See, while its membership continues to decline, its revenue keeps going up, partly because of how many rich and gullible people keep giving them money. Celebrities, of course, but there's others. As far as the celebrities go, it's known that in 2004, Tom Cruise gave $3 million to Scientology. In 2007, Nancy Cartwright, the voice of Bart Simpson, she gave $10 million.
Whoa, she gave more than Tom?
Oh, yeah.
Tom's not very grateful.
Well, Tom's a lot more involved in the administration process.
Yeah, Nancy Cartwright's just fucking, she's just giving him
She's
money.
just giving him
and
money.
handing out pamphlets.
Yeah.
That's weird that Bart Simpson would do that.
Hey, it's not Bart Simpson. I think it's Simpsons even tried to say that. They're like, Bart is a member of the Simpson family.
Yeah.
Nancy is some weird person behind Bart.
But I can see why these celebrities give. In fact, I can see why all the rich people give. It's not just celebrities. There's also the guy who created Boingo Wireless. If you ever been in a fucking airport and tried to get on the fucking shitty-ass Wi-Fi, it's Boingo Wireless, and
Bro,
it never fucking works.
I fucking hate fun names because the product always sucks.
Yeah, like Go-Go or like,
And then
whatever.
you have to be like, fucking my Boingo isn't working. And you sound like an asshole.
Boingo!
Yeah. Like he also created Earthlink. He created Helios. This guy's incredibly rich. You also have one of the richest media moguls in Australia, a billionaire. He's a Scientologist. You have a pharmaceutical executive named Robert Dugan, $1.8 billion in net worth. He is Scientology's largest donor by far.
Yeah, and I bet you get tax breaks too. Like you're giving to a church. So you're at some point you're getting a kickback as well.
But the reason why these people continue to give is because for them, Scientology works.
Yes.
The rich are richer still, and the celebrities are still rich and famous.
Oh, yeah.
Nancy Cartwright is worth $80 million. She's on season 34 of The Simpsons. John Travolta is still worth $165 million. He has all the private jets he wants.
Yep.
He can blow as many masseuses as he can fucking handle.
I mean, poor Mike Rinder, not poor Mike Rinder. It's more like, it's interesting because when John Travolta and him they had a private meeting. That's where the masseuse kiss came from.
Yeah, but masseuse kiss came from when when John Travolta was like, "Hey, do you think I ought to take this movie called Pulp Fiction?"
To Mike Rinder. And Mike
Yeah.
Rinder's like, I don't think playing a heroin addict's going to be a good look for Scientology. It's wrong. And then his
it was
masseuse
just-
came in and they had a moment and then he left. And then it's like, then he's saddled with the secret and this whole thing.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction is the only reason that he had a comeback.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise is worth $620 million.
Does his own stunts.
And he was just in a movie that is nominated for Best Picture. Top Gun Maverick is nominated for Best fucking Picture. Scientology works for that motherfucker.
And people are allowed to
Works
do
for
whatever
him.
the fuck it is they want with their money. I really do think, and remember, it's like they're allowed to do it.
Yeah.
So if that's what they want to do, if they want to waste their money like that, they absolutely can. And they're getting their own kickbacks too. But what they're funding is, again, legally, we cannot say they are guilty of human trafficking or murder. But it seems to be a
it's just-
function of the organization.
How is everything getting built?
Human labor, yeah.
Right. And
that is
how
free.
much money are they getting?
And they're
Yeah.
shipping them
Yeah.
across
Right.
like states and countries. Yeah.
we can
So they
say
have an
that,
unpaid workforce.
yeah,
Yes.
we can say
Yes.
that they have been charged with these things,
Yes.
with being culpable in deaths. They have been
Well, do you want me to go into that?
almost. But the thing is about these people is that $3 million to Scientology, it's fucking nothing. You know, and if life is going the way you want it to, and you have no conscience whatsoever about the consequences that your support of Scientology brings to other people, there's no reason to stop. Therefore, Scientology has been kept afloat by the big fish, even if the little fish have mostly stopped giving. But there's the matter of what David Miscavige has been doing these last 10 to 15 years, because our narrative kind of stops around 2009. 2010.
Well, it's interesting because there was a big clampdown on information that came out, especially because of the mass exodus of like Marty Rathbun, Mike Rinder, all these big guys coming out.
The Aremini, the biggest one.
Oh, yes, spilling all this shit. And so now we're in this kind of sea of mystery of what the fuck goes on inside.
Yeah, he's basically gone into hiding. Nobody sees David Miscavige.
He goes back and forth from his various properties, but from what I can gather, so like where Scientology is at now is that according to Mike Rinder's blog, again, this comes from him, the way he tracks it is that obviously they're highly secretive about what their members are. Yes. And they're saying that there's 8 to 10 million Scientologists around the world, which is not true. Mike Rinder says that even at their height, he believes that the most that there was 50,000. But then who knows? They're saying he's an SP. He'll say whatever he wants. But in 2011, there was a census in England and Wales that said that there was 2,418 Scientologists that are registered legally.
Wow, that's it.
By 2021, the number that have officially put on the list that they were, it already went down to 1854, right? So they lost a bunch. So
that's just in England.
That's just in England.
That's still not, I mean, England's big.
Yeah.
But he's saying that if you look at this track and the way he breaks down, he thinks that there's less than 20,000 Scientologists on the whole across the world, which is why these ideal orgs are completely empty. They're all just fronts. You go like the one up in NoHo. Sometimes they'll have a couple. Yeah. There's a couple people stationed outside, but that's because the Church of Scientology is doing this thing that's called like the ladies who help because they're trying to show, oh, look, we're doing these like fundraiser things about specifically COVID. Because
are they wife pimps?
They are. I don't know.
There was a nice lady wearing a T-shirt I saw outside of it the other day that T-shirt said, curious. Well, I was driving by and I glanced.
You're like, hi.
I
am. But David Miscavige, I think one thing that was interesting about what's going on right now is that there's been a release of documents about what happened when COVID-19 hit.
Yeah.
Right. Because
did they use it for their advantage and completely corrupt a narrative that was not supposed to happen?
Sure. Yeah. But it's actually what we're seeing is that Scientology is probably at its very weakest because
I believe that
when COVID-19 hit, what we don't understand is that even if you're just a parishioner, you're supposed to go in every day. You're supposed to go to one of your orgs and audit and do your things. And you have FaceTime, P2P with somebody at all times. I'm glad you're laughing. I'm glad you're laughing. But you're supposed to do these things and it keeps you in whole. It keeps you in check. It keeps you a part of the world. COVID-19, immediately, legally, they couldn't go everything. And COVID-19 hit 2 days before LRH's birthday, which is the biggest fucking party of the year. David Miscavige was fucking furious, right? He sent this missive that now that we can't be together anymore and you can't we can't do this anymore. He called COVID-19, the term was a planetary bull bait, which is like, we're going to see how we all react to it. But so here's the hidden things. We know that Scientology does not believe in viruses or disease. They believe that you do it to yourself, that you bring it in. David Miscavige definitely still very much has asthma.
Severe asthma.
No,
it's not true. Yeah, that wouldn't work.
Yeah, he definitely. Yeah. And so COVID-19, what does it do? One of the big things, especially when it first came out, they're saying that it's going to fuck with people with asthma.
Right.
David Miscavige is incredibly scared of COVID-19, even though ostensibly he's supposed to say it doesn't exist, playing kayfabe if it was real. But instead, he says, what we're going to do is they want to see how Scientology is going to react during this. So he sent out the CDC guidelines repackaged as if it was Scientology's guidelines. And now the Scientology orgs are so disinfected that the disinfectant is making people sick from being inside of it because David Miscavige won't go anywhere unless it has been completely slathered from head to toe and the same shit that they clean emergency rooms in.
Probably just advancing the virus actually even further because then it mutates it and then it's like, Purell, who gives a fuck?
They have a zero sickness policy now. You can't even
they have a zero sickness policy.
Yeah, you can't even have sniffles. Yeah. You're immediately, and so imagine you actively have COVID. Now those of us who have it, right? We've had it. It sucks, right? Yeah. And when you have it, you like, you're brain fogged and all fucked up as it is. But then you have to call your auditor and be like, I can't come in. I tested positive for COVID. They then are like, you're getting audited over the phone. And what they're making them do now is take pictures of themselves at home. Yeah. Yes. They're making themselves take pictures at home studying and sending them into their auditors. Like, look, you see, but all this being said, the hold is slipping. That's why we're getting more. The leaks are getting crazy. Like there's more. That document got leaked a week later, which no one had ever like done really before because they were afraid of the immediate repercussions.
They're not on the Supreme Court. They don't usually leak classified information.
But now they're like out of it. They're out of the hold a little bit. So it's starting to get real wiggly. And now that David Miscavige was served with this essentially a human trafficking charge.
That's what it is.
That's a human trafficking charge. And just for details, so you can go into it on your own. This is an accusation from Valeska Paris and Gawain and Laura Baxter that they were residents of Australia. They were on Scientology's cruise ship, the Free Winds in the Caribbean. And basically what they're saying is that we were, as children, we were raised into Scientology. We had to sign these documents that gave our soul over for 1 billion years that would allow us to then work for free whenever. And then we basically went to the Free Winds and we were tortured on this boat for a long period of time. And this is free. This is human trafficking and we're charging you with it. But what's hard is because they're fighting the actual essential nature of like, how do we prosecute a group of people who have written down like a consent form and in a kangaroo court, like, because it's still just in their world, but it's still a contract, right?
Sure.
So the 1 billion year contract's like one thing where they said like, well, that's a whole belief system. We don't know, like the courts are real icky about that. They don't know what to do with that yet. But there's another clause that Scientology makes you sign, which is an arbitration clause that basically says you promise to handle any arbitration for what you feel as a malfeasance of Scientology within Scientology, not like in the court system, like you're supposed to. So what they're fighting is they're saying that they signed this arbitration document that said that like they can't like sue us. They literally can't. They sign their rights away. And what they're trying to say is like, but does it count if you sign a contract, quote unquote, under duress? Under duress, and we don't know. And so now they're really like, this is this.
Also, they were children. They were under 18 when they signed this, right? So technically, it doesn't matter.
But it's a really belief system. It's a whole thing. So that's why they're hyper hesitant.
We believe in human trafficking. See, we believe it.
But again, he's accused of these crimes. So he is not yet guilty of these crimes. But it is an interesting idea of like, and it's also why the FBI is so hesitant to go and start busting in Scientology, because it's really hairy to get into the fringe religion movement.
As we just talked about.
In Waco.
Billionaires.
Oh, yeah, and billionaires. They got plenty of money to throw into the process. And also, like, Mike Rinder brought up a good point where it's like, any FBI agent knows that as soon as I attack Scientology, that's the next 10 years of my life.
Yeah.
Is unhatching, is trying to break this up.
Look at the dude who fucking cracked the Monopoly game scandal. That took 4 years.
It took 4 years. That was a fun one.
That's fun.
Yeah. That's the thing is that, it does seem like the cracks are starting to show when it comes to David Miscavige's Scientology.
Yeah.
His version,
Yeah, the people are leaving. The documents are being leaked. He's getting served. People are chasing him down to serve him. So his reign may be nearing an end. And when it does end, I, for one, am fucking fascinated to see where Scientology goes from here.
I just wanted to start a baseball team.
As the new head of Scientology, I'm bringing in Friday Fish Fries.
I honestly make it fun.
Dude, I'll do it. I'll take care.
join with you.
Right,
I want that.
I mean, even if Miscavige manages to hold on for another 10 years or so, the rich celebrities will remain. Additionally, Scientology still owns all that real estate, and their tax-exempt status doesn't seem to be going anywhere. It is far too large to be taken down by, the fall of their leader. Someone is going to succeed David Miscavige, just as Miscavige succeeded L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
Yeah, and I, for one, wouldn't be surprised if Scientology is still going a fucking century from now.
Is it going to be Tom Cruise?
I don't think he wants that responsibility.
I don't think so. I don't think you can fly jet planes and skydive all that much.
You notice he hasn't said very much about Scientology, and then Judd Apatow made that joke about him, and then Gerard Carmichael made the joke about Sally Miscavige. It's really starting to come out in the open. Tom Cruise, he hasn't said fucking shit, really.
Yeah. But I do think that the longer Miscavige stays in charge, the less of a chance Scientology has of making it to the century mark. But what I find most fun about Scientology is that they are now eternally on the defensive. even if they stay dormant for years, as they did after Leah Remini launched her attack in 2013, their reappearance inevitably draws negative attention every single time. Hell, we're doing this series now partly because we were inspired by David Miscavige's star turn in a new Scientology ad campaign last November. We got reminded of the dickhead's existence. Like, oh yeah, we were going to do a fucking David Miscavige series.
Yeah.
They do not have a lot going on, judging by the fact they called all three of us.
Yes.
Multiple. They called all three of us multiple times. And why the fuck did they call you before they called me?
Buddy, the internet.
Again,
Ben?
they smelled in the water.
Yeah.
We can flip them. Yeah.
Ben got called at 5:07 p.m. I got called at 5:09.
I was called at 5:07, 5:09 as well, so that was a busy minute for her.
Mine was 5:15.
and then at 5:30. Yeah, but they don't know I don't answer my phone.
Yeah, me neither.
So, boom.
So, while they may last for a little while, at least into the coming decades, Scientology will likely never gain a foothold, just so long as there's always someone around willing to make fun of them.
Yeah. And I feel like that's the one thing is that we're allowed to make fun of whatever we want.
Yeah.
Because it's fun. It's a comedy podcast. But we definitely came with a lot of bullshit. Mm-hmm. And you should read it some of yourself. If you're a Scientology member that is now currently listening this, scanning, right, for whatever you're being told to do, like, dude, lady, it's better outside of it. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
Just hear what we're saying.
I could have flipped that chick if I would have answered.
Maybe, yeah, sure.
I know.
But I just like hear what we're saying. It's it's legal. You're allowed to do whatever the fuck it is you want with your Thetan containing husk. You're allowed to. But just we're trying to help you before something really bad happens to you, because unfortunately, it seems the more people stay and the longer they stay in this organization, the worse it is for them and their families.
Yes,
absolutely.
Help the Scientologists out there in the street.
Help a Scientologist.
Be nice to the Scientologist. If somebody is out there trying to give you an e-meter reading, trying to give you a personality test, don't be mean to them.
They sound afraid.
Yeah.
Really, that's what it is. The fear comes across.
Yeah.
The desperation comes across. You're not operating from a place of power right now.
Be
Unless your
empathetic,
father
please.
is Joseph Fritzl, you should never be separated from your family.
You're right. Yes.
That would be a massive red flag. Absolutely.
But yeah, go and read any one
of
of these fucking stories that we covered, like, Ron Miscavige's book. We had fucking Mike Rinder's book. We have Mark Headley's book. We have there's the whole Tampa Bay Times, like LA Times. There's so much stuff. Like just go have fun. The Underground Bunker, Tony Ortega. That's hours of fucking listening. Yeah, it's very interesting.
All right, everyone. There it is. Our 3-parter on David Miscavige and his mishandling of Scientology.
Oh, thank you. And any Scientologists, if you want to come out and see Classy Night Out with me and Ed Larson, we're going to be at the Pack Theater Wednesday, March 8th, 8 p.m. That's at the 6320 Santa Monica Boulevard. New address for the Pack Theater.
Awesome.
Check it out. We're there. And then go to GetItMadeLA/Disaster to buy tickets for live Side Stories April 8th.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for supporting all the shows. Marcus?
If there is a Scientologist who is working the L. Ron Hubbard booth at WonderCon at the end of this month out in Anaheim, come on over and see us at the Z2 booth. We're going to be signing on Friday and Saturday at the Z2 booth. Going to be signing The Last Comic Book on the Left, and we're going to be doing a panel on Saturday morning. So check out all the schedules over at WonderCon to see exactly when and where we're going to be there. And I believe it was sent out on our newsletter.
I believe.
Sign up for our newsletter
Which
to
is
get
fun
all
stuff.
of the information.
Michelle makes good stuff on that. It's really fun.
Does.
Yeah, I like her newsletter.
And then, of course, you guys are going to want to, join us and don't talk to your family anymore. And
honestly, so you know, if you do speak with us, we encourage a lot of our fans to not talk to their parents anymore because, again, their influence is really bad. And we want you to make sure you can queef the clearest that you can. And that's our whole thing, is creating clear queefs.
Clear queefs. Thank you all so much for supporting all the shows here on the network. And and we're also, by the way, don't forget, every Tuesday, the stream is back. So go to Patreon.
Yeah, it's live on Patreon, 8 p.m.
Fun.
And No Dogs in Space is about to return with a 2-part series on the monks.
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
yeah.
Sweet.
It's
All right,
not what you gain.
It's
what you lose. All right, everyone, hail yourselves.
Hail Satan.
Again.
Hail me. And thank you, Satan, for giving me the strength to be a fucking warrior for truth. I am every day. I'm your soldier, buddy.
Wow.
I'm your fucking shoulder. All right?
You just completely derailed the past 3 episodes.
Yeah, really did. Especially when you told Satan that you were his shoulder.
Yeah, you were his shoulder.
I've been talking for a long time.
All right, everyone, hail yourselves. Talk to you soon. Bye.
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.